So, you give this guy a golf club, he'll probably try to fuck it.
Who's scruffy looking?
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
I just assumed it's a Wookiee.
Hey, it's me.
Everything you heard about me is true.
If you come with us, you're in this life for good.
Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the Scruffy Lookin Podcasters, episode number 270, episode 36 in the new era. Where if you're hearing it here first, you're definitely hearing it last. We're glad you're hanging with us here on a beautiful Sunday, May 11th, Mother's Day here in America. Happy Mother's Day. Man, we have had, I'm just going to say this real quick. It's been like 7 days of just rain every single day here in the great state of Maine, soggy state of Maine. We just had a real just banger of a day right now. Spent it outside as much as possible, barefoot, grounding your body with the earth. Man, get outside when you can. It's been such a crazy spring. Anyways, my name is Jimmy Dice, riding solo from the state of Maine today. That's why I got to fill it, because my buddy Ed, he's just not here today. He's doing some great Mother's Day stuff. But across the pond, looking battered, sporting a bloodied Wembley badge, Mr. Kev Garbett.
Thank you, mate. I tried to block that out, mate. I've tried to forget about it, but yes, I'm back. Missed by nobody, I know, but I am back after all this time. a different man, shall we say, which we'll get to in a minute. A different person.
They saw.
Yeah.
You felt.
Yeah, great to be back. Yeah, I've missed the last few, but it's great to be back. Great to see everyone. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. Doing well. Next to him, the king of sandwiches, Mr. Christopher Hall. How are you, dude?
I'm good, mate. Yes, I'm good. Kev, I've missed you, buddy.
Oh, thank you, mate. I'm glad
It's
to.
all right. It's all right. Jimmy, that rain needs to sort itself out, mate, because I'm going to be there in like 2.5 weeks.
Listen. I am doing the goddamn rain dance out there. I don't know what's going on, but I'm probably gonna have to do a little construction tape off a couple areas, just so the kids don't get all into it and stuff. But we're going ahead as planned. Pig will be roasted, rain or shine.
Have a word with your rain guy, mate.
Come on, Jimmy. Call that rain guy. Call ahead, mate.
No, it's not a rain guy. It's a rain gal, and I don't know. She don't like me very much right now.
Love it.
Oh dear.
Good to see you, dude. And always nice to be seen. Anyways, joining us today, a special returning guest, host of the podcast, Just Chillin', and Just Craftin', just fucking returning from Japan, Mr. Shawn Hoffman from California. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. I heard Ed wasn't going to be here, so I'm like, yeah, I'll come. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Got to fill those shoes, man.
Big time. I mean, you're not in a closet though, but you're in a place that looks far more comfortable.
Barely. It's about the size of a closet, and I have too much stuff in here, but it is decorated, to say the least.
Nice. It's a working man space. So well, here we are, and here we go, and off and away. Kev, why don't you just kind of fill us in on the trauma?
Well,
what? Don't know this week, mate.
What have I been up to? I haven't really done much, have I? I don't think much has happened.
Not really, mate.
Yeah. So shall I talk last weekend and the big event? Because I'm a different man now, boys. I'm now in the married club.
Hey! Congratulations!
Thank you very
Big
much,
time.
boys. Thank you so much. It was Jimmy, as the saying goes, it was a hard and fast 48 hours. It was a hard and fast day. But we did it. We're legally married now.
Good for you, man. Congrats.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was You queued that one up, Jimmy. Queued that one up.
You walked right into it.
It was such a quick visit. It was such a quick visit because obviously, like, I got in on the Thursday. The Friday, we had the appointment booked at City Hall to get the marriage license. So Friday, we got that booked for like 11:30, and that's like really weird because it's like getting your driving license, in America, like the DMV or something, because it's just like you just go into like City Hall. But it was really funny because like we were like in line and we weren't sure where to go, so we get in this line where everybody seemed to be. And we were like, we think we must be here. It must be here. And then we were in line for about 5 minutes, and then this dude, I coughed. I had this little bit of a cough because I don't know if it's from the plane or from the flight. Next thing, there was this dude in front of us who turned out to be the maddest dude, like in New York at that point, because he was like, "Hey, buddy, you got a cough there?" And then he starts going on about all these conspiracy theories about how I got this cough and how it was all like COVID related and all that lot.
Oh my God,
That's what you need.
And we were trying to get married, but it gets worse because then he starts going on about loads of conspiracy theories, and it's like how he starts telling me about like and Emily about how pterodactyls were used in 1800 China to drop bombs on their opponents.
Oh my God, dude! What?
And how there's this like mad creature in Portland who the government are hiding, and I'm like, I just want to get married, dude. I'm like, come on, I'm like,
get the fuck out of here, please.
And it gets so far where it becomes uncomfortable, and Em goes like, "Is this the right line for like the marriage thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, this is the right line. They do everything here. You're in the right line." So we have to listen to these conspiracy theories for about 35 minutes. We get to the front of the line. I went, "Where's the marriage license, mate?" He went, "You're in the wrong building. You need to go over the road."
Oh my God. After all that.
We were like, "Oh my God, we've just listened to this dude for like 35 minutes." And it was like, it was absolutely painful. So we go over. We get called up. You do your license. It's just like you just get called up, like take a number. It's really weird though inside because there's all these people doing like proper ceremonies, and they're in like full wedding outfits and like.
Oh, really?
And they've got like professional photographers. I've got like a Star Wars t-shirt on and a pair of jeans, just like rocking up to like get this like marriage license, and Emily's got this like a t-shirt on. So we get the license. But then you can't get married for like 24 hours after then. So we got that Friday. That was just basically like me and Em just went out for dinner and just spent some time together. Saturday, we had like a little, well, we thought it was just going to be us like signing the papers. But our flatmate decided to do like a little like display in the backyard. So it turned into something a little bit. It was only like a minute long, but Steve came, who's Emily's friend, who is only licensed to marry us in New York. So he did like a little ceremony, and it was like, do you take this? So we did that. We got a nice surprise because Emily's sister-in-law was in New York at the same time. So she came to visit for like an hour. It was really weird. She came to visit for an hour, walked her down this little aisle, which was basically out her French doors at the back, up some like steps to meet where I was. But it was amazing. And Brittany came in as like our witness. She flew all over from California.
Oh,
it was fucking awesome to see her. It was like, but it was just like, just a few minutes. And I'll be honest, at this stage.
Well, that's how your relationship started, isn't it, mate? So.
Just pretty much.
You might as well carry that on.
It absolutely were. I got like super emotional, and I don't know what the fuck I'm going to be like on the 31st. I'm going to be absolutely. It was like amazing, yeah. So, and then we just all went out for dinner after. So yeah, I'm legally, officially married, but 31st is the big one. I can't wait for everybody to be there, and we do our big vows and make it absolutely 100% official. All families, friends, everybody. So. It's not far away, is it? Fuck you.
No, mate. No, it's not at all.
It's close. It's close.
That's awesome, though, dude.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. It was amazing. We had a brilliant couple of days, but it was really, it was hard, and obviously to leave, because I had to leave at like 3 a.m. on the following Sunday because my flight was at like 8 a.m. It was just such a quick visit. So I can't wait for like Boston, because we're going to have a couple of nights in Boston with my family, and then we're going to have the Friday and the Saturday with everybody, and like the wedding party on the Friday, everybody there on the Saturday, and it's just going to be, hopefully everybody just has a great time. That's all I want to happen. I just want everybody to have a great time and just enjoy themselves. And but yeah, it's fucking so close. It's just like
Yeah, dude.
I remember thinking, and I've spoke to Chris about this on numerous occasions, that like when it was like 6 months away, it didn't feel, there was no like, I was like, it's 6 months away. It's 5 months away. Now it's like, what was it the other night, mate, when you were like, it's 19 days away? I'm like, fuck you now. Like it's genuinely like scary, but I can't wait for it, to be honest. I'm really, really excited. So
less than 3 weeks, baby.
I know, dude. I know. So Jimmy, you've got to get this weather sorted, mate, because
I'm working on it here.
We're getting married outside, and we're praying it's going to be nice. So we've got like a plan B if it's not, where we've got like
tents and shit.
Tents, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
We're just praying that we don't use that. We're just hoping for like really nice weather. So Jimmy, get that weather guy on it.
Gal.
And so yeah, we've done that. I've done that. I won't go into everything else, because I know Chris would have spoke a lot last week about seeing Revenge of the Sith in the cinema and all things like that. So what else have I been up to? I've been to, Chris and I went out Friday to a gig. I have been to a gig for ages. I've been a bit shit this year. Me and Chris were talking about this, and we went to see 4 bands on Friday, 10 quid. And it was in this tiniest little, what was it, mate? It was like an old,
it used to be a fruit and veg and potato market traditionally, like years ago in Nottingham. And this guy's bought it and turned it into like a rehearsal space and arts and community centre for local Nottingham stuff. And he puts gigs on in there.
Yeah. So we paid like 10 quid to see like 4 bands over 3 hours, a couple of bands from Australia, and it was fucking great. And it was just like a reminder of like, I really need to get to more gigs this year, because I've just not done. I normally do loads, but money's been a bit tight because I've had to sell a couple of gig things and stuff like that. So
you've been a bit busy.
I have, made just a little bit, and it's like
you got a lot on, lad. Don't beat yourself up.
It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is.
You busy AF.
Yeah, but yeah. Other than that, not too much. Obviously, the football's fucking me, so I'm not talking about that. That's not great. I know we're going to talk Andor, but I watched the Tales of the Underground thing. I don't know if anybody else has...
Oh, sweet. Has anyone else watched that?
I have.
I have.
Oh, let's do it before Andor then.
Sure. Oh,
yeah.
beauty.
Sweet.
Sure.
Sweet. Done that. And then, yeah, that's about it. Honestly, boys, that's about it. I think I've been... Not much else, because like I say, it's wedding countdown now, and I'm sure Chris talked. I've got suits, I've got my suit, I'm all kitted out. We've got hotels for Boston sorted. I've got hotels for Haverhill sorted. So I'm ready to go, boys. Let's just fucking
Haverhill.
do it. Come on,
man's even saying it right.
One
of us.
One of us. So yeah, it's just countdowns on, boys, and I can't wait. So. That's me.
Sure. It's the final countdown.
Wait.
I'll go next. I'll start off with the biggest thing for me that happened, the May the 4th dinner.
Here we go, mate.
Oh, this is what everybody wants to hear now. Come on, Jimmy.
So happy I'm on this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
So am I, Shawn.
Buckle up.
Sit back, relax.
Yeah, sit back, relax, pour yourself a fresh spotchka or Romulan ale. You know? because we're gonna be here a while. But really, yeah, it's I won't go too long with it. Maybe like 90 minutes or so. But Chef Damian Sanzanetti puts on yet another absolute banger event. 11 years they've been doing this Star Wars dinner. The restaurant, we've been doing it for the past, I think, 6 or 7 now. Cheval, his restaurant, first started at Piccolo, their former restaurant, but they closed during COVID. And it's just a local chef in Portland who is an absolute Star Wars fan, collects a lot of awesome memorabilia, puts it all in display in his restaurant, shuts it down for a night, sells just a certain amount of tickets each year, fills up like that, like really fast. And I've been fortunate enough with my wife to have been able to go the last 10 of the 11 years they've been doing it.
Nice.
Oh, that's rad,
Yeah.
mate.
I know.
Yes.
It's crazy. And the only reason we didn't go to the first one is because I found out about it because it was written in the newspaper afterwards. And I'm like, how the fuck did I miss this?
Jimmy, I bet you were raging at that point, weren't you?
Oh, I was, you know. And I'm just
What
like,
the hell is this
I
shit?
know. So I've been to all except one.
How nice for you.
You know, how nice for me. So I'm just gonna run through the menu. Oh, by the way. So we're back real quick. Sorry about that. Literally kicked my tower and everything like came unplugged. It just something didn't want me to read this menu, but you know what? I will not be deterred. So it's a multi-course menu here. Damien does an amazing job. They usually give you like a treat or something like that, something cool to put at the table you can take home. And this year it was Pez dispensers.
Oh no!
So there was
Nice.
got a C3PO1. Christopher, favorite.
Come on,
In it.
Ben.
Yeah, right.
Love it.
Come on.
We got Chewbacca. We got
Nice.
Darth Vader, and then
Come
we
on.
got a rebel pilot, Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
Yeah, it was good. It was good, proper Pez.
no big bad BF, mate.
Nah, no Boba Fett. No Boba.
Damn it.
Uba. No, none of that shit. And then there was like a cool like crossword, Star Wars crossword puzzle and like Star Wars facts that are on here, which I thought was like pretty interesting. The one of them I'll read to you is that let's see, there was one down here that was oh yeah, Mark Hamill. Did you guys know that Mark Hamill and Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger, were roommates?
Yes. Yes.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Oh, man, crazy.
Robert Englund let it slip that Mark Hamill was in The Force Awakens.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Fuck, I did not know that. Anyways, news
Well,
to
they had
me
that
anyway.
dispute about whether Robert Englund recommended him for Luke Skywalker, didn't he? Originally or something. And it was like
He did.
for a
So he recommended Lucas to audition Mark.
Yes.
And that was the fun fact. And I was like, oh, that's really
Nice.
cool.
Mm.
So, but anyways, down to the food. The first one, the Colo Clawfish Eggs Canape. Now this is a throwback from a dish that was in Solo. Also for something else, but
What's
wild
that? What's
salmon.
that, Jimmy? What's that?
It was a wild. Get out of here. We were on a different planet in the Coronado cluster, deep core. Couldn't get any radio signals on our brains that night. But this is a wild salmon roe, a blini, and a dried and Voss selection. So it's like it's just like a little salmon roe on a cracker thing. But anyways, it's pretty good. Next one, the Empire Outpost Survival Ration. And this was like this just giant popcorn, and they kept this shit coming. It wasn't like, here's your little cup, and like that was it. Brown butter, salted cinnamon, and spicy pimenton popcorn.
Ooh.
Just fed to us like a little sweet, little heat, and it was just like, oh my god. Which really, like, I'll bring it to the drink menu. You get the Greedo shot first, gin, Midori for that green color, and then the Blue Harvest. So I was thinking about our friends over at the Blue Harvest Pod. Zubrovka, Hypnotic, Coconut, and Lime. And there was the Mustafar Punch, Cognac, Bourbon, Bimini Coconut, Passion Fruit, Grapefruit, and Lime. That was quite delightful.
That sounds gorgeous. That does sound good.
That was my
try?
favorite
Did you
one.
try them all, Jimmy? Did you try?
I try every single goddamn one of them.
What a fucking
Course
stupid
he does,
question!
mate.
What a
he does.
stupid question that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, come on.
I've just realised how idiotic that question was. Jimmy,
Yeah,
did you
the
try
la-
all those drinks?
And the last one, the Sith sipper, bourbon, vermouth, peach, and the salted cranberry, whatever. Yeah, they were all delightful and they were all delicious. And so most of them come in these. He has a collection of these Burger King vintage glasses. Some of you guys may remember from the 80s.
I have some of them.
These movies came out. Yep.
Mm.
They had a bunch at they had a bunch in Orlando, Celebration Orlando, when Ed and I went there. And I remember bringing 2 home. I don't know how the hell I got them home without them absolutely breaking in my bag, but must have been that good lead paint they had on the outside of those glasses. After
Makes
that,
it
there was
taste
the
better.
Dago. Yeah, right. There was the Dagobah root leaf spore toast. It's kind of like a take on avocado toast, but the topping was a 800-year-old Jedi master recipe: mushrooms, kale, pickled mustard, ricotta matcha, and sourdough. Toasted sourdough.
Nice.
Good.
It was quite delicious. Quite delicious.
Say ricotta again, Jimmy.
Ricotta.
Nice.
Ricotta. That's just how we
Ricotta.
say it up here. We had the Maz Kanata's rotisserie meat chunk.
Meat chunk.
A chunk of meat.
chunk. Yeah,
What
from
a-
Maz Kanata. You know,
what
so
a
you know
chunk of
that
meat.
shit's good. This ain't a rotisserie you get at Costco, okay? So it's a slow roasted, crate salted black Angus beef shoulder over onion bread and the sour Thala Siren milk cream. And if y'all remember the Thala Siren, that was the one that Luke was milking at the Last Jedi.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it's like steak on toast. And that was just super delicious. Then the other meat thing was a roasted quail, Chewbacca's roasted pork. Yeah,
Ooh.
that was delightful. Black mission fig, Amaro raisin and sausage stuffing, garlic wilted, smoked lard, and a little toasted thing that was on top of it or whatever. I just took that apart with my hands. And just like single bites, taking it down. Those things were delicious. I'm surprised they didn't actually cook them in the movie. No, they did cook them in the movie.
Chewie did.
But yeah, Chewie did. Chewie did. Then it was like Leia's Endor Moon poncho snack. It was just like some cool like little ice cream thing. And the last one, the death stick. It's like, oh, what's this treat?
Hey.
This was a lemon little like cake, little like ice cream cake kind of thing, really small, like the size of a Twix. And on it was a Szechuan pepper buzz button. Now,
What?
those who are familiar with like the Szechuan pepper, it's like the Chinese numbing spice. Did you have in a lot of Szechuan food?
Mm.
Well, the buzz button is the flower, which I guess it comes on. You can like harvest it at a very young age, and it's like early development. And so we just put this little flower, this 4-petal little edible flower on this dessert. You ate that first, and it totally like numbed out your mouth, gave you this really odd and cool sensations, and they called it the death stick. And then like the coolness of the ice cream, like it like brought you right back to earth, and had a really cool, just like sweet and refreshing finish. It was really fucking wild. Never like had that before.
Yeah, fun fact about the
Nice.
buzz button. There was in the early days of Galaxy's Edge in the Disney parks, one of the drinks, I think it was a fuzzy tauntaun, used to have the foam on top, used to be made out of that same thing, so it would numb your mouth as you're drinking it. But I think they had to switch it because I think during like around the COVID time, I think they had trouble sourcing those things.
Yep.
Well, that sounds like they're back, and
Yeah.
it's a good old time.
Dude, what a cool what a cool like way to experiment with that shit. That was just really, I don't know, that was very fascinating for me. I've never like I've had Szechuan before, Szechuan food. I love how spicy it is. I'm here for it, but having that in like a dessert thing was pretty wild.
So what numbs it? The bud, is it? You said, is it the what's
Yeah,
the numbing thing? Yeah,
this like the flour. The
flour
has
numb.
these little
Yeah.
crystallines on it, or it's part of the oil actually, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't because I'm not the superfood guy on that one, but really cool, really fascinating shit. The movie that we watched So earlier in the afternoon, Elaine and I went and saw Star Wars: A New Hope performed by the Portland Symphony Orchestra. Really cool. Set us up right for like what's been going on with Andor and everything else. And then we had a couple hours off. Went to a little game cafe, had a couple espresso martinis before we went to dinner at Cheval. And the movie they watched, Revenge of the Sith. So I got my own. I finally was able to get my own full rewatch of Revenge of the Sith then, because I didn't get to make it to the theaters like you guys did. So that was pretty. That was pretty cool to be able to watch that one.
Did you watch it all, Jimmy? Were you
yeah,
there long
whole
enough to
thing.
watch? Yeah.
Start to
Yeah.
finish. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Problem that he has is like, it's like shit. It's getting late. We got like more food to like send out to it because he makes it all to order like
Yeah.
throughout the
Right.
movie. So we're there at 6 o'clock, but we're not leaving till like 10, quarter of 10 kind of thing. It's a long like sit, which is great. I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, 11 years of doing that, and Ed couldn't make it this year, the bastard, but that's okay. We'll get him in for the next year. Ed's definitely been, I think he's been like 4 or 5 maybe. Anyways,
He went last year, didn't he?
Well, last year with you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we watched Rogue One last year. That was
Nice.
God, I can't wait to talk about that later. That's really it for me, boys. The last one that I'll just mention, still playing Myth 2, the really super old ass game. I'll just mention this one thing. Our team, the Myth Fits, we had a championship round this year, not championship round, but we're playing the Myth World Cup with all these players that have been playing this game for 40 years. We're just gonna get our asses just smoked. And we're playing against another team that was like kind of about the same level, but they had some way more advanced players. And we pulled through. They're upsetting like 3-2 our loss, but we pulled in what I'm going to call a massive upset, a 4-1 victory over this team that we were very stoked about. But anyways, I just need to put that out there into the atmosphere for the record.
Oh, nice,
And
man.
yeah, it's really cool. Just a nice little
cool.
like it's this old game now. It's treated almost like a game of chess by the people that have played it for as long as they have. It's fascinating. It's all this literature and documentation that people are writing like 10, 15 years after the game's been done, and it's been almost 30 now. It's really it's a very interesting time to be in as far as old games are concerned. Anyways, sorry. That's it for me. When we hand it off to our guest, Mr. Shawn Hoffman, why don't you tell us what's been going on, buddy?
Oh man, like you said at the beginning, I have been home from Japan for less than a week. We were there for about 24 days. It was originally going to be 5 days. I was going to do 5 days for celebration, but then Madison found out, and she was like, "You're not going to Japan without me." So that 5-day trip turned into a 24-day trip. And she's also like the planner, and so like it took my like hard and fast trip to a tour de Japan, which was awesome because we were also kind of celebrating our 10 years together, and so that was fun.
Oh,
nice. Shawn, congratulations, mate. Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she's put up with me for that long, and
yeah.
So
how's she managed that, mate?
It's because I don't talk about this skateboard in front of her that I got from celebration. That's the main thing. We were talking about it off air, and the cost got brought up, and it's like, yeah, we don't talk about that. But yeah, dude, it was awesome. 24 days in Japan is awesome. Like I've said it before, but if somebody was like, if you had to pick somewhere to go, you can only go one place for the rest of your life, travel. Where would it be? It's honestly Japan, and
nice.
not for, I think, some of like the low hanging fruit reasons that you hear from people all the time, but it is genuinely a place that I think everybody needs to visit, and at least go for like at least a week or two and really kind of get out of the city centers and kind of see the country, because it really, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, because it's just an absolutely beautiful country. There are parts of that country that I saw that are like, it felt more Star Wars than like Galaxy's Edge did. Like
That's
eating in restaurants. There's this one that just really blew my mind where it's like they built the restaurant around this like flat top grill that was like a huge circle, like a ring, and the whole place is just filled with smoke, and like you can't really see what's going on, and it's so tight, and and everybody's talking and it's kind of chaotic. And I'm like, dude, this here is Star Wars. I don't know. I could talk about that for hours, but I'm not going to.
Love that.
It's amazing.
Love
It's
that.
amazing thing. Chris has heard me wax poetic about it. I got really into the crafting thing while we were there too. I think I created an album with like photos I took of various things around the country, like with almost 200 photos of just things that are weathered and like that I thought looked cool. And like, I don't know, it's a crazy place. I love it so much.
Is that from
There's a
like
lot of-
the Japanese history then? Like, you know, that you were taking pictures of, like for crafting things, like of.
I was taking
just-
pictures of mailboxes. I was taking pictures of like the grime running off the side of a train. Like it was, I don't know. It's just,
yeah.
we did this 70-kilometer bike ride while we were there. Yes,
Yeah.
Madison
God
did just have an
damn.
AC.
In one
She
day.
did just have 2 days. Sorry. They take your luggage and they'll take it to your next place. So luggage delivery, if you don't know what that is, look it
that's
up before you
cool.
go to Japan. It's
That's
really cool.
nice.
So you can just kind of travel the whole country with backpacks and keep bouncing your luggage around to the different places. No, it's a 70-kilometer bike ride that you do that kind of island hops. So you're kind of riding in this like dedicated bike lane. We did it on like pedal assist bikes. Trying to remember where I was going with this.
Nice. Like
But yeah,
little
we
mini
did that.
electrics.
Yeah, like where you pedal and it kind of like makes it go faster.
Nice.
How did Madison get on with that, mate? Because
she did fine. It was easier than walking because like it's just that same repetitive motion. Like it's easier than walking up and down steps. But no, but even all the like the steps and things that we did, she did great. Like we had that walker that you probably saw in all the photos. Like the conventions and stuff. But no, it was she did really, really well. Like that.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was fun.
So they
what
like
else?
your luggage is just waiting for you at your destination when you get there. It's just like that's that easy.
Luggage delivery is like the
Fuck
main
me.
thing that I would take from them and like just spread across the world.
Yeah.
So basically
Nice.
they have like large companies like Yamato. It's like they have their logo is like two cats, like a mom cat holding a baby cat in the mouth.
Yeah.
They will like, you go to your front desk of your hotel and be like, hey, I would like this luggage delivery. Can you have it delivered to my hotel that I'm going to be at in a couple days? You can send this one to that hotel, that one there, that there. And they'll take it and it'll be delivered to your room. You can deliver it to the airport. You can, and there's these like little hubs all over the place. And once you recognize the logo, you'll see them everywhere.
That's cool.
We love it so much that we even went to like the company history museum. Like,
Shut up,
and
mate.
What's really cool is in their gift shop, they have a truck that turns into a transformer. So a luggage delivery service.
Oh my god! Oh, the cat. The yellow circle cat. Is that what it is?
That's outrageous.
That's their logo. That's their logo.
No way.
So, yeah,
that's cool.
They even have their own toy line. So yeah, that's
outrageous.
Fantastic.
That's how you know they paid it.
Put it on the pile of shame, Shawn.
Oh, it's already built. That's just a straight up toy. It's not a model.
Oh, sweet.
But the pile of shame is over here. You can see all of it piling up over here. We did. I know Jimmy mentioned Costco a little bit ago. We did go to the Japanese Costco too.
How was that?
Part of it? It was
Costco. That meat section. Yeah, nothing different.
The meat section was crazy. Like it was weird because it's a two-story. It's almost like an IKEA. Like you have the upstairs and then the downstairs.
Jesus.
Like the Costco it's Costco, but the food court. Yeah. Now we're talking.
It's a food court.
I made the mistake because we go up and like I'm like you, Jimmy. We go somewhere. It's like, well, I'm going to try almost all of it, like all of it if I can. But it's Costco, so you're like, there's a lot of stuff on the menu. So they had sushi, they had stuff. They had this thing that was like, oh, you can get like chicken nuggets or like kind of little chicken tenders. And on the picture, it looked like a little like McDonald's box. Yep. I kid you not, this was like 2 chickens worth of chicken nuggets. Like this box came out and it was the size of a basketball.
I love that.
On top of all this other food we got, it was bananas. But the food was really good. I could talk for 4 hours about Japan.
I would be fine with that.
In in
Me too.
3 weeks when we're all hanging out in Maine, I have
Big time.
a fun story about hanging out with like a wild night where we went to a dinner and the chef invited Madison and I out amongst the town, just her and I, and we got to like hang out with like a geisha's apprentice and like go to this place that doesn't have a name, and it was bananas. And then we went back a couple nights later and kind of did it again. It was cool, but that's a crazy long story.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's fun stuff like that. But besides Japan, and I've been trying to adjust back to California life and jet lag and elevation.
Yeah.
Planning a bunch of stuff to go to Boston. I'm going to see you guys soon. So I've been booking
Big
flights,
time.
getting that stuff ready to go. I've got a small suitcase full of trinkets and stuff that I'm bringing with me. So I hope you guys are bringing luggage. So yeah, there's that. I've also been watching some stuff. I'm just going to skip right past that and not let you try to like shut it down before I just skip right on by it. You're like, well, wait a minute, how much? Don't worry about it. Madison finished Shogun, the book, which apparently is like really, really long. And so we're rewatching. I'm rewatching that, and she's watching it for the first time and kind of getting upset. She's like, it took me a week to read this, and it's 10 minutes in the show. So yeah, we're doing that. Watching a lot of The Last of Us, which is weird because I don't really hear anybody talking about it.
I haven't started it yet, Sean. I haven't started it.
fucking
It's been sitting there
consumed
for
with
ages.
Andor.
Yeah. Dude,
Nobody got
It's an
time
emotional
for
roller
that.
coaster. It's a lot. Like there's a lot of an emotional roller coasters going on right now. So just save it.
How far are you in, Sean? How far have you blitzed it?
It's only been 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, it's only been the 3 or 4 episodes. Another episode tonight, and like I played the games, so I know.
Yeah, I did play that. So
everything.
Apparently, it follows the game pretty well. I've read
pretty closely.
Yeah.
So I will say, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Like
yeah.
That game, when I played it, that was The Last of Us 2 is probably one of my favorite games I've ever played from a storytelling and story structure standpoint. And it is following it pretty faithfully, but like this is me being almost like a book snob kind of person where it's like it is almost impossible to match the level of storytelling that the game brought, but it is doing a damn fine job getting close.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I have no complaints about it so far.
Sweet.
So
Cool, man.
and Andor and Tales. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Oh, and I watched Light and Magic. Chris, I heard you talking about that last week.
Oh
yes, mate. Yes.
I've got one to go.
I just wish there was more. Like that's my
Yeah.
Like it just feels like just let them. Like I know it's like if you've been to celebration, like as many celebrations and stuff as we have, and we've seen all this stuff. Like some of it's repetitive after a while, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff I could just hear those guys talk about, especially with Light and Magic. If you haven't seen it, compounding on what those guys have said already, it gives you almost a little bit more than you've ever heard. Like you kind of hear them talking as coworkers. Like they're like, "Oh, you were a liar. Like you lied about this," and they're like, "I didn't do
You
this."
lied.
So it's kind of fun to kind of see the tension between the different people who work there. Like you don't always get to see that. Normally, it's kind of like whitewashed a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, everything was great, and everything just worked out." And this is a little bit more of a realistic insight, and I really enjoyed that. So, yeah.
Because that second episode, I'm on the second one, and that surprised me how brutally honest that was. Because you know they were talking about the backlash of the prequels and the special effects and everything, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're not, because I thought this would be like, oh, wasn't this great? And everything was great, and the prequels never got any shit, and it's like, yeah, basically like that. But they were just like, they got some
grievances. They got some grievances.
We got some shit thrown at us, and I'm like, yeah, too right you did. Oh,
and you can read between the lines a little bit too and be like, oh, yeah. It's sure. I'm sure it's like getting a tattoo a little bit. You're like looking when you're done and looking back at it after it's healed. It's like, man, this is really cool. I'm really happy with the product. But when you're in the middle of it, it's like, what then the hell is going on? Why am I doing this? I'm sure some of those guys went through absolute misery at that time, but they're able to talk about it more clearly now.
Yeah. I mean, not to get too like depressing or emotion on it. But the Ahmed Best one hit me. That was awful because you just forget. And I don't know if "forget's" the right word, but these were human beings just trying to do the best that they could, and we're doing trying to make films that were the most anticipated films, and to get that level of shit thrown at him. That Ahmed Best one, when he told about that story about him being on the Brooklyn Bridge or some bridge in New York or something, and just you're like, holy fuck, over movies, if you know what I mean, over what people were doing to him, and where Jake Lloyd is now, and you're just like, fucking hell, it's not right, is it?
Well, at the end of the day, we can sign off of Twitter, we can walk away from it, and when it gets too much, they can't, it's their lives. And I thought it was interesting that the people who worked on Jar Jar have similar, not quite the same story, but similar comments as well. It's they in fact have felt it, and they weren't even in the limelight for it. And it's just a really interesting show.
Yeah, lack of empathy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, Celebration was a part of that Japan trip too.
Oh really?
Yes, mate.
Yeah. I know I was there for a while, but and Celebration was part of it, and we did that. That was
what panels did you get into, Shawn? What panels did you get?
Oh, so before I went, I got into 0 panels. I didn't get a reservation to the store. I got it none. I got nothing. But luckily, when we went there, it was an interest. So I've been to a handful of celebrations. It was an interesting layout. So I'll kind of give a preface for this. The Turbo talked a little bit about it last week, but the convention center is almost kind of broken up into 3 big buildings with open air hallways in between them, kind of breaking them up. And then there's different buildings for the store and the celebration stage. And so there was a lot. It was really well set up once you figured it out. And the lines and stuff are really clear. And while waiting in one to get in, some Reed Pop people kind of confirmed that they only gave out reservations for a certain percentage of the room, depending on Celebration stage or Twin Sun stage. And it was nowhere close to capacity. And so that kind of just immediately flipped the switch. It's going to let more standby people in. I could have saved a lot of,
which feels really, that feels better. That makes me feel better about that.
And the lines weren't long. You didn't have to show up at 6 a.m., even though I did at times because I just woke up super early. You didn't need to. You could show up at 8 and still get standby for Twin Suns or Galaxy stages. It wasn't that crazy because they had a lot of standby space available. So it kind of felt, I wish they would have told us ahead of time because I had a lot of heartache being I'm not going to get to see anything. This is terrible. But once you kind of figure it out,
on Kermit,
okay, I could just show up and I'll get in. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And there's the typical stuff. The Hot Toys having all exclusives and putting their big dumb booth right by the front door and blocking everything and everything being chaos.
Yeah.
But you've been to a con, you got to pick the things you want to do. Hang out with friends. Do you want to get into all the panels? Do you want to go fight people for Hot Toys? I really enjoyed it. I did. I would say the things that disappointed me, I 9 out of 10, fantastic, loved it, great job. The things that I thought were going to be there that weren't, I thought there were going to be more independent sellers on the floor. The floor was kind of
right.
I wouldn't say weak because Bandai was there and they had an injection mold machine on the floor printing Millennium Falcons with recycling old parts, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And they would not give me a ticket, but it was so cool to watch. But there weren't a lot of the old toy sellers there.
So it's very corporate, you think?
There were a handful, but it felt like people who came over almost from the US or other places, and it was just the same kind of stuff. It's where's all the Japanese versions? Where's all of the
the local shops? Yeah, the locals. Who's got the guy with the glasses from Burger King in the 1980s? I want to talk to that guy.
But then you realize, oh, they don't need to come to this because they have their own stores in Tokyo or wherever, and you just go there to get it, like Turbo was saying. But it was kind of hoping to have more of that on the floor. But no, it was I really enjoyed it. I thought there would be more Japanese content. It was surprising how much was catered towards English speaking. So that was curious. The food was kind of meh.
At the
not a lot
center,
of
at the convention
options.
center.
Yeah, they did not have beer vending machines.
I was about
Minus
to
the
ask,
point.
did they have beer?
Oh, did it?
No Sapporo?
No,
sake?
no beer vending machines. Did they have sake? I don't think they had any alcohol in the convention
Oh.
center.
England. We'd had them everywhere.
Oh, spot on.
We fucked him.
Oh, man. So and the only food they really had in the convention center was like this like special like Star Wars food section, which I think was just kind of like a ghost kitchen in the background where they brought it up these like generic, like, you know how you go badge pickup and it's like all these like lines of tables and you just, like, they're all kind of themed the same thing, but really they're bringing out different types of food. That stuff was okay, but the first day it had like a 3-hour line, and so we all just left and went to like 7-Eleven or wherever else.
Nearby.
Yeah, just nearby, and ate egg sandwiches and whatever. So it was all fine.
So Shawn, can I ask? Is that? Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. No, you said that like a lot of it felt a bit like American, if you know what I mean. Do you think? So can I ask then? Like of the people that went to Celebration that you saw around, did it seem mainly like foreign, or was it mainly Japanese people? Do you think it was a good idea having it there?
I do think it was a good idea having it there. And I think they gave out stats. I know Turbo talked about the number of people. Like a large percentage of the people who went were first timers.
Right.
That's
and
cool.
a lot of it was internet. Like there was a large Japanese contingent there, but it was a lot of It felt like a really big melting pot. Like it wasn't like all Americans or kind of Europeans. Like it was all over the place.
So it was a good blend. It was a good mix of.
There was a lot of Australians that went to that one.
God, they were everywhere. It's like turn on the lights and they scatter. But I'm kidding. Please don't come at please don't come at me, Australian friends. Please, Turbo, I like you. Like, give me a job in Australia, please. I need out. But no, yeah, it was really cool because like they would do kind of the split. Like there'd be some panels that were just all in Japanese, but very few.
Yeah.
Like the Bandai one, like the scale modeling one was completely in Japanese, and like the teleprompter, like the closed captioning was like 3 minutes behind. So you're just kind of like, neat.
We're fucked.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. But it's still fun to be there. But like, I don't know, it was a different vibe. It felt less about the getting into the big panels because the announcements were there, but it also wasn't like a big announcement year for a lot of stuff. So it felt maybe more relaxed.
Okay.
In some ways.
Yeah.
There are like the stuff like Turbo mentioned, like not having a place to congregate afterward was probably my biggest complaint. Like there wasn't like we were in the APA hotel, which was very close, walking distance on like sky bridges over the roads, but there was nowhere to go. Like we went to that hub. We went to the British pub that could hold maybe like
I was just gonna say
people in it. It's very small, but you could go to like a karaoke room, but that's really only good for like one thing. But there was not much else around in that area, especially to hang out in. So that's why you'd hang out in like the APA lobby, which they did not want you to do. Like there were so we tried to be good about it. Like we weren't like drinking and stuff really down in the lobby and stuff, but they had signs like, please no food or drink in the lobby, just all over the place. And the 501st was there, and a lot of other people, not pointing fingers, drinking, doing all this stuff. They had the signs, and like the staff wasn't going to say anything. Yeah,
we all get along.
We all get along.
Liquored up.
Getting wasted.
Spotch.
Yeah. Other than that, it was a good time. Let's see if I took any other notes. I picked up some cool Japanese crafting books. That's one thing that was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Japanese scale modelers are a different tier of not to go down the just crafting side of things, but they are
Please do.
gods. It was Chris, I don't know if I sent you the pictures. They had like this like row of tables that just sort of like, hey, this is like a hobby group. And they did like a Death Star that's maybe about the size of like a melon, like a cantaloupe or something.
Yeah.
And they did like the Death Star 2 under construction, and it was the tiniest little wires and like details and lights and stuff. And they did like this whole grid structure through it. It's
beautiful.
It was amazing. Like I could just stand there. People were like, "Oh, can I get through to get that like bobblehead Ewok?" It's like, no, you need to like take a step back. I'm macro lens photographing these models.
Yeah,
this is unreal.
In my
Wait
brain.
your fucking turn. Wait your turn.
Do you know how many celebrations I've been to? I've earned this. This is. But no, it was cool. It was good it was really nice to see friends. Like, I think kind of like what Turbo was saying last week. Like, it was nice to kind of go in with a focus on taking advantage of that, taking advantage of really focusing on the friend side of things, and like, oh, hey, I could go to this one panel that only I want to go to on the other side, or I could be here with everybody else and do all that, and just kind of coming with that different mindset made it really, really kind of cool as well. And so, and plus getting to share it with Madison. Madison got to go to her first celebration for sure one day.
Great.
And,
yeah, that's awesome.
And you can believe that I used her and her stupid walker to get in the ADA line for the celebration stage for the Visions panel. And we got
You'd be a fool
so
not to,
close.
Shawn. You would be a fool not to. Absolutely.
It was awesome. I've never been that close to the celebration stage in my life. And it was like, I'm bringing you. You need more ACL surgeries every 2 years right before celebration. This is the way to do it. all joking aside, but it was cool. It was cool to get to sit that freaking close. It's like, dang, I can see the host. I can maybe win a prize. But yeah, that's that. Other than that, did a lot of other stuff that I'll share over time. Jimmy, you'll be happy to hear you like I ate a lot of good food. So much good food.
Man.
And,
I saw the pictures you were posting in the chat. Man, those the ramen. Oh my god.
The ramen museum. If you go to Japan, go to the ramen museum in
there's a
in Tokyo.
ramen museum.
It's a museum.
Wild.
Yeah.
So the top floor, the ground floor is like literally the history of ramen. And then there's like 2 or 3 floors underground where it looks like it was designed by like a Disney engineer. Like it's meant to look like it's outside at nighttime. And it's like all these old style shops, but they have all these different ramen shops, like 8 of them kind of packed in there, and they have all these like back alleyways, but it's indoors. It just looks like it's fake. It's like fake outside.
Yeah.
And you just,
Amazing.
you're rapid firing. You could go to all of them. You get little bowls, big bowls, and they're all different. It's like, oh, this one's known for soy ramen. This one's known for miso. This one's known for some other wackadoo thing that they're doing.
Fucking
and it's
say less.
So wear
beautiful.
like a wool shirt. Wear wear something you're willing to throw away at the end of the day, because it is going to be gross by the time you're done. But it's amazing. So good.
Nice.
I would be so fucked going to Japan. It would be scary. It would be scary. Like just going to the shops, just going to seeing the culture. It would be insane. I'd love to go, but thanks, Shawn.
Put it on that bucket list, man.
Hey, never say never.
Shawn! Oh, mate. Shawn. Did you go to the Godzilla store?
I did not go to the Godzilla store, but I did see a lot of. I did get some Godzilla stuff for some friends. I did see a lot of Godzillas. I took a lot of pictures of Godzillas.
Yeah.
I did go by the Bandai, like the main, not Bandai Hobby, but like the main Bandai headquarters, and saw some of that. I wanted to get to more of the, how would you say, the toy stores, the things like that. I did get the toy. I did get the Toy Sapiens, and I got my Star Wars Visions Micro Galaxy Squadron guys.
Oh, nice.
Got
Yeah.
a handful of other things. I picked up some of the stuff that Christine wanted from Celebration that for some reason this toy store happened to have, but the Celebration store did not. So yeah,
Interesting.
But we're also getting to that point where like you start to worry. You're like, how am I getting this stuff home? Because it's easy when you do luggage delivery. It's like, hey, take this bag of junk and send it to the final hotel, and I will deal with it on the last day. But then you start to build that up in your head. You're like, dude, I know I seriously got to get this to the airport, or not from the, because I can luggage delivery it to the airport. I got to get it from there to the counter, and she's useless. She's got that walker. She can't carry anything.
Right.
So I got to get it in bags, and then I got to get it through customs, which is a whole thing right now. And so I'm like, all right, maybe I shouldn't go to the toy store, because I don't know how I'm going to get through these like 9 steps of things, unless they're small. Because I did buy some new kitchen knives too while I was there, some new carbon steel Japanese kitchen knives.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Well, Chris and I have watched like videos of toy collectors out in Japan, and they go over, and the next thing they're like buying extra suitcases to send shit over there. They've just put, or they'll be like, I've got to go and take this to the Japanese post office and send these over because I brought way too much stuff to get home. And it's
Well,
like,
I think you guys would love it too, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you guys love the hunt. Like,
oh man, yeah.
It is very much a like almost like a narrow, like a 5-story narrow building, and you're walking up steps and stepping in some store that's the size of this office, and it's just floor to ceiling, everything. You're just like, oh, what do you got? Oh, just dig, and it's like, then you go up flight and getting on these elevators that hold like one person, and it's just just falling through. It's like, oh, look at this random thing, but I don't have a lot of that in me. like I'll go through like 2 buildings, but like I am tired. Like I am overwhelmed.
It's like, I'm good.
I am good. Like, just somebody point at the cool thing and be like, look at that, or show me what I'm actually looking for.
That sounds like heaven to me.
That is heaven to me. Yeah.
Because as much as I'm sat in a room that's full of shit, I do love having it all.
Yes.
But I love the hunt a lot more. It's all about the hunt.
Well, while I was in New York, they have a little store in New York called Toy Tokyo. And I went there. And bearing in mind, Shawn, that this is like one level of like toys. And then they have a downstairs level, but it's like one level of toys. And I'm looking around, and there's some fucking amazing Godzilla stuff. There's some Ghibli stuff. There's all sorts. I'm sending Chris pictures, and I'm like, mate, I would be absolutely fucked in Japan. Like, I would be fucked. And we don't even get onto Japanese vinyl as well. And I love samurai movies, and I love like.
Well, it makes it worse because
Ghibli stuff, and I love
the conversion rate's so weird too. It's like,
I don't even know what you're paying, right?
I don't know what 20,000 yen is.
That's not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then somebody looks, you go, it is. It's like, not right now. Like, it will be later. I don't know. But yeah, it
sounds rad, dude. It sounds amazing. So
we did all that. We went around.
You go Mount Fuji. You go Mount Fuji. Oh.
We did not go to it. So my previous Japan trip when we went years ago.
Oh, right. You've been before.
Yeah, this is my second time there.
Oh, cool, mate. Cool. All right.
And
cool.
This time we kind of went further south. Went to like Hiroshima and down Osaka. We went to the World Expo.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
Bananas. I don't know. I didn't know anything about that before we went. But so Madison planned the other 19 days. You go there, and it's kind of like a World's Fair, like in a weird way. But they built this, like, if you look up pictures of the World Expo Osaka, they built this giant ring. It's almost like a large hadron collider thing, but it's like 200 feet up in the air, like all made out of wood. And it's this big ring that goes out into like the bay and onto the land.
Wow.
And it's
that's cool.
Like, and you can walk around it. It's huge.
Oh,
yeah.
Like
I just Googled it, and it looks insane.
What's it called? What's it called again?
The Expo, Osaka Expo, like World Expo. And it's got like every country, like a lot of countries have their own little buildings, and like then you go in them and you're like, why did this get built? Because you walk into one and it's like all this crazy technology, and it's like we went to Australia and it's like just videos of Australian stuff. And it's like, what is the purpose of this? It's like, it didn't feel like tourism. It didn't feel like education. It didn't feel like it's just a bizarre. It gets cool. I'm not knocking it. I'm like thinking too deep on it, being like, what is the point of this? Like, this looks like people spent $1 billion. Like, it's crazy. You just have to see that ring and be like, but why? Like, why do we do that? And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. It's got flowers all along it. It has like ramps that take you up higher, and they had a giant Gundam. That was cool. I don't know why that was there, but like a 200-foot tall Gundam statue outside this one
Damn.
pavilion.
Oh,
Couldn't get into
I
that
think
one.
I
That
saw
one
a
was
photo
really
of Sal in that.
Oh, he was at the giant Evangelion statue. So there's a lot of big robot
Right.
statues in a lot of different
Okay.
places. So there's a little Evangelion statue outside of the hobby. What was it called? The little hobby museum, the scale model museum that I sent you guys pictures of inside of there of all the like the big airport, like a whole room is an airport, and you have planes taking off and stuff. But Sal was at a different one where it's like a very big Evangelion statue. I think that's close to the Godzilla statues too. Yeah, it's crazy. I'll stop talking about Japan. I promise. It's crazy. I highly recommend everybody go there at least once and get out of Tokyo when you go to like go
Big
somewhere
time.
else. It's very cool.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. I appreciate that, man. We wanted to hear. Like, I listened to Turbos last week and just love getting your perspectives on it. And
Oh, that was awesome.
You know,
we
got the DL from all the info from Christopher a couple weeks ago. All I needed to know was that Ronin was coming back. That's all I needed to hear. You know, so I really enjoy getting you guys' perspectives on this shit. It's good stuff.
Oh, did you get the Black Series, Sean?
Did you get the Black Series Ronin? Oh man, look at that. That's just fucking beautiful.
And that box
is fantastic.
So Kev, cover your ears. That box was massive. So that box got shredded. In Japan, like, this is the only way this thing's getting home. This box was, I kid you not, like 10 times bigger than it needed to be. And so,
my God. I bet that box was beautiful. I bet that box was fucking beautiful, Sean. And you just ripped.
Housekeeping probably loves it. They're thrilled to have
it. Probably filled it with some more garbage and threw it out.
It's with my skateboard box. And so,
there you go. There you go.
Do you know what, Sean? Like one of we'll talk about it in a bit, but like one of our good friend Andy, one of his pleasures was after we did the hunt, it'd sit there with us, me, Chris, and him with a pizza and a beer, and it's like, I'm going to rip these fucking figures open in front of Kev. I watched that motherfucker squirm, and he loved it. It was like...
I think that's the main reason he went with you guys.
Yeah.
You can tell me about it separately. He'd be like, man, you should have seen Kev. He was so pissed.
Hey, Shawn, adjust your mic a little bit. Change the input or something.
Well, I think I knocked on the floor.
Yeah, you did. Oh. Good pizza, good pod. Let's see and smell. Christopher, why don't you take it on with your week, pal?
Yay! Sweet. I won't go too long, but I've had a rate busy week.
Rate busy.
Rate busy. Day after we caught up last Sunday, it was a national holiday here, bank holiday, so the kids were off school.
Nice.
So we decided to take them into. Well, they told us where we were going. There was a particular thing that we went into Birmingham, the home of heavy metal, the birthplace of Ozzy, Tony,
Ozzy,
and Bill. I went actually while I was there, Kev. I went to the Black Sabbath Bridge.
Did you do it, mate? I forgot to ask.
Not told you. I've not told you about this. Yeah, I've not been yet since it opened, and I went and I was really excited. And we passed it, and there was no one sat on it. And we had to be somewhere because we got some tickets booked for something. And we're like, oh, we'll just go to this event, and then we'll come back, and I can get my photos. I'd got my Black Sabbath shirt on. I was really excited. And then by the time we got to it, it was just rammed, and there was like loads of people sat on it, and I couldn't get any photos whatsoever. So, but Birmingham's an hour away.
Another time.
I'm gonna be there next month for an event. So, hopefully.
Sweet.
Hopefully.
Right, dude. Right,
but yeah, the event we went to the Sea Life Centre in Birmingham because the kids are really into Animal Crossing game on the Switch, and there was an Animal Crossing event, and I didn't quite understand it, but I got to see some penguins,
mate.
Which was pretty rad.
That's all you need. That's all you need, mate. Shut up.
Got to see some penguins and some squids and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some crabs. But it was bank holiday, mate, and it was rammed.
Right. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
horrible
just-
time, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fuck. But you had a
I
great
was-
time though, mate. It's hands your top, mate.
Yeah, it was great. It was good. So that was fun last week with the kids. And then I've only been at work 2 days this week because it's been Mrs. H's birthday. And ever since our 40th birthdays got shit on in lockdown, we're kind of like turning our birthdays now into like events. I don't know, mini events.
Fuck
We
yeah.
celebrate them properly,
Indeed.
as we should
Indeed.
do.
Yes.
So we've spent the last 3 or 4 days doing like loads of really cool stuff. So on Thursday, the kids were at school. We took the train up to Sheffield, which is about an hour's drive away, but it's about 20 minutes on the train. And me and Mrs. H went day drinking for the day at the ripe old age of 45. Well, she's 45 now. I'm soon to be 45.
I'm a Warhammer.
Yeah. There is actually some Warhammer action in this weekend,
Sure.
mate. It
Oh.
was good.
Sure.
But yeah, we had a fucking brilliant day. It's great to unwind and just spend some time together and get away from being parents and working adults and just relax and have fun, basically. It was really cool. Sheffield's an awesome city, absolutely awesome. It's really had a lot of money pumped into it over the last 10 or 15 years. There's a lot of art and culture there, and it's just a really cool vibe. We went to a couple of breweries, and I tried some Korean street food for the first time, Jimmy, which was
Heard.
beautiful. I had some sweet chili deep fried chicken
Ooh.
with some sticky rice, and we had some half and half corn dogs, which were half sausage, half melted cheese with that batter and like chili sauce drizzled on them. Oh, mate,
Dude.
proper. They were
Heard.
good, mate. They were good.
Yeah.
Tasted.
Well, not to jump ahead, but like Andor, Mrs. H has got well into it, and she watches it. She watches it with us every week. It's really funny. I'll just spoiler alert. She works like a motherfucker. Michelle does. She's got a really busy job, and obviously we've talked about the pain of like blasting through 3 episodes a week.
Dude.
The first 2 arcs, she's been struggling, and me and Kev have been winding her up because she'll be nodding towards the last one, or she'll let a few big yawns out. This week, mate, she didn't even fucking blink. It was
Yeah. It was rad, wasn't it? Yeah.
We'll get to that. The reason I bring Andor up is because she's like so into it. As we spent 8 hours drinking and eating throughout the day, just talking about lots of shit. We got inevitably got onto Star Wars, and she was asking me loads of questions because obviously she's not into it as much as we are. And I had a bit of an out of body experience because I was like filling her in on some gaps and stuff to do with Rogue One. And again, spoilers, me and Kev got excited when Melchi turned up and she was asking who that was and how things linked to link. And I had this little out of body experience where I kind of saw myself talking to her and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? How did you get here? Because I'm like 5 pints deep and I'm rambling to my wife on her birthday about the fucking Grand Admiral Thrawn's TIE Defender program.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, you see, Krennic had the Death Star program and Thrawn had the TIE Defender program. And they were both battling for the Emperor's funding. And I'm like, come on, Chris. She don't need to know this shit, mate, does she?
Mate, I can
Once
see
you heard
Shell's
that
face,
in
mate.
narrator voice.
You found yourself a good one. You found yourself a
did,
good
mate.
one.
She good value.
She
Yeah.
good
Good value, mate.
Good value.
Oh, dude. Just to preface that much when we get into it. So you know how I don't know if you've mentioned this, mate, but like before every episode of Andor starts, it has that little thing on when it says like 4 BBY or 3 BBY.
No, BBY 4 and it bothers the piss out of me. We'll get that.
No, but it's fucking piss funny because Chris and Shell are on sofa and I'm sitting on the other sofa. And every time Chris will pause it and he'll say to Shell, do you know what that means? And they'll be like, before the Battle of Yavin. And then they'll do it the following week. And then he's done it the following week. And it just fucking makes me piss every time. And she's like, yeah, I know, Chris.
Dude, you want to hear this? Hear this. I do the same fucking thing when Elaine and I rewatch it too. She's like, listen, I got it now. You don't have to fucking tell me.
Yeah.
Because then I go a little further and I say, listen, it should be 4 BBY. 4 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
Number, letters. They do letters, number. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Commas for periods now? Get out of here.
Look at this guy, mate. If only they wrote the date properly in America.
Yeah, if they only wrote the date properly.
What's the date today, Jimmy? What is it?
Yeah, it's 5/11/25. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
It's the 11th of the 25, mate.
Yeah, you just remember where you're coming to in 3 weeks. 2 weeks now. Oh,
brilliant. But yeah, we had a great day celebrating Michelle's birthday, and then the day after, we had that day off as well, off work, and we went into Nottingham. More drinks, more food.
How nice for you.
Yes, it was, Jimmy. It was. But
mate, day drinking shit out in it.
It is. On the second day, mate, we called it quits at like 3:00 and got back in time for the kids getting back from school.
Yeah.
I went straight upstairs, mate, and had a 2-hour nap. It was fucking brilliant.
Fucking good on you, mate. Fucking good on you.
I just can't do it anymore. But yeah, then Friday night, as Kev's mentioned, we went to a gig. So I went to see this band called Grinding Eyes that Turbo had, another band that Turbo's got me into. And yeah, it was rad. But it, like Kev mentioned, it's in a really small venue. And probably for about 2 years now, I've been wearing, or every time I remember, I've been wearing these little mini loop ear defenders when I go to concerts. Because I've battered myself that much over the years that I get tinnitus. So you probably say that different in America. You probably say it like
tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Tinnitus, mate.
Tinnitus. Come on, boys.
Yeah.
The fuck's
oregano. Fucking oregano.
Oh, yeah. What about it?
Anyway, I forgot them to this for this gig that I went to, and it honestly, I went right up close.
Mate, boys, I'm not kidding.
This venue was that small. There was no stage. The band were just like on the floor, and I was on the front row, and it was so fucking loud. And this band, Grinding Eyes, they're like a psychedelic, a bit early Stooges.
Stooges, in it, mate.
Like, yeah, really heavy, like in parts, psychedelic in others. But his fucking guitar work's insane, mate. And he was shredding like mad, and my ears, unbelievable. I went to bed that night. Incredible.
We were trying to chat afterwards, mate. What? Like, what? Hey, what?
Yeah.
Pardon? Yeah. What?
Just shouting at each other up my own. You all right? Yes, mate. That was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, mate.
And then celebrations carried on again the day after, because I'd got tickets for Michelle to see Supergrass. Are they a thing in America? Supergrass?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah. They're not huge, but I'm familiar with them. Yeah.
They were part of the big Brit rock explosion in the 90s over here, so they were massive. And they're celebrating 30 years of their debut album. So we went to see that, and I forgot my fucking ears, my bloody things again.
Your earplugs, yeah.
Yeah. So I sound like a right old fart, don't I? So I've been 2
Don't
gigs.
worry about it, man.
And now I'm struggling. But yeah, we've had an absolutely rad few days, and it's good, mate. Just living life and enjoying things.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, back at work tomorrow. That's going to be rough,
isn't it, mate? It's going to be proper fucking downer, isn't it? It's going to be shit tomorrow, isn't it, mate?
The weather's been great, hasn't it?
It's glorious this weekend. I was at football today, mate.
Not to mug you off, mate. Not to mug you off, Jimmy, but we're experiencing a bit of a heat wave in the UK.
Oh,
not compared to what your temperatures get to, but
yeah. So get on that, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Get that fucking.
Bring some of that shit over here. We could use it.
Yeah.
Bring it with you. Put some in your suitcase and bring it with you.
Crowded house, mate.
Yeah.
I'll be there everywhere
Right?
you go.
Everywhere you
Take the
go,
weather with
always take the weather with you.
Yeah.
Damn right. Don't be an asshole.
Yes. So that's been rad, mate. That's been rad.
Nice.
I mentioned this briefly last week. So this is the first time me and Kev are podding together since we had. It sounds weird saying have had the pleasure, but
Yeah.
it really was really a pleasure. We had the pleasure of going to our good friend Andy's funeral a few weeks ago, and we just wanted to. I know we did our episode talking about our great friend and how much we're going to miss him and what he means to us, but we just wanted to take a minute to just share what. Again, it sounds weird because it was a funeral. What a really amazing experience it was, and what a humbling experience it was as well at the same time.
It was a beautiful experience as well. It was absolutely just like Chris says, I don't think pleasure is the right word, but it was an honor, I think is a good way of putting it. Like it was.
It was it just felt really special. We all know what a special guy Andy was, and there was a real Star Wars presence there.
Yeah, there was.
which was amazing. His casket was probably the coolest casket I've ever seen in my life.
That looked pretty rad.
Starfield and Falcons all over it. His name emblazoned on the top in the Star Wars font. But yeah, it was. I don't really know where to start, Kev. It was like the service itself was amazing. What his daughter said about him was incredible. Friends and family spoke. But I suppose really we just wanted to let people know and our friends know. Because on the way there, me and Kev had spoke, like we'd never met his family. And we'd spoke to them via text when he started to fall ill. But we'd never met them. So we didn't know how much they knew about us or our community or our group of friends. And I think we were a little bit blown away, Kev, because it turns out they knew a lot.
Yeah. I think it was so. Yeah, like Chris said, we were chatting on the way down because it was such a. I was quite nervous and upset and everything, but we had the funeral, didn't we? We had the service, which was beautiful, and how his family got through that, I just don't know. His daughters. If ever you want, the epitome of what a human being Andy was, and what an absolute, fantastic, lovable, like guy. Just look at his daughters and how proud of them he was, but how proud of him they were. And we were just going like, well, we don't know what to expect. It's like, do they? Because we look, me, Shawn, and Chris were on a group chat, and there were times when we were like not hearing some things for a few days, and not that's not meant any, but we were like, do they know what he means to us? Do they know? So we were going there thinking, what's today going to be like, and will it just be just to like introduce ourselves? But they did the service and it was beautiful, and they did the thing, and then we went out into the like backyard afterwards, where everybody congregates. So we were just kind of like standing around, mate, weren't we? We weren't doing anything.
I was drained, to be honest, emotionally drained from the service.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was like we didn't really know what to do at that point, because it's like we didn't know anybody there. We didn't know his family. I know Ed had met Lucy, his wife, because obviously he stayed there, but Andy had stayed at my house. Andy had stayed at Chris's house, and we'd never, over the past couple of years, we'd never, met his family. But we were just kind of standing there, like me, Chris, Michelle, just like talking, and then his daughter just came over, didn't she? It was just like Chloe, who is just a wonderful human being, just like, and a credit to her dad. And we'll get to Abby in a minute, but because I'm not singing it, but like straight away she was like, gave us the biggest hugs, and we're just basically was saying what, like, me and Chris and Shawn and everybody meant to him, how special that community was for him. Not to get too emotional, but what Shawn did, how they connected and everything, and it was amazing, mate, wasn't it? It was just like,
I was pretty overwhelmed and blown away. We had a short conversation with us, and it was like, and then she was like, she had to go mingle, basically. Yeah, she was like, I'll introduce you to my sister and my mum later. And we went to the wake, and again, more Star Wars stuff. It was pretty cool. We had like the coolest guest book I've ever seen in my life, which was this Millennium Falcon made out of perspex, and you like wrote your name on a little hexagonal coin thing and dropped it in. It was awesome. And there was a giant screen. They were playing all his favorite songs, and people were drinking and telling stories and amongst themselves. Obviously, again, we didn't know anyone, so we just sat together. And they were playing all his favorite music, but there was a giant screen with photos on loop. So some of the photos we'd seen in the during the service, but there was a lot more on this. And again, it was just super emotional because we were seeing photos of his life, but the amount of photos with us and like our friends on our Star Wars community was just like, it blew us away. We were just like, and people were like, people that we'd never met came over and spoke to us like, "Oh, are you Andy's Star Wars friends?" And was just chatting to us about it. They'd listened to the pod, and yeah, it was just amazing. And then his wife came to talk to me, and like an idiot, I got really emotional in front of her. And
what I love though, mate. I love what I loved about it is that we were all sitting at this table, and we'd recognised her, but not had a chance to speak to her, because I think it was obviously a real tough day for her. And this is, Chloe was kind of doing all the liaison. And she was quite amazing, to be fair. She was genuinely incredible. Like, handled it incredibly with just grace and dignity and just everything. And we were just like, wanted to speak to Lucy, his wife, and we were just kind of sitting at this table, just chilling around, and she just suddenly clocked us, and then she just went, "Oh, are you the Star Wars people?" Like, just like,
oh shit.
And then she was near. Yeah, she grabbed Chris straight away, because obviously he was near her, and then she just spoke again, just glowingly about it. Just, what was it?
Yeah, she just I had a bit of a moment with her, and we got upset together, and it was quite emotional. And like Kev says, it was just really humbling to know that we had, as much as Andy had an impact on our lives, which we've talked about, and we talked about in that episode, to know that us, and not just us talking now, our little friendship group and our community, what an impact we had on his life. Yeah, they wanted to get that across. And we spoke to Chloe again before we left, and then just as we were leaving,
mate, this one,
his other daughter Abby came to talk to us, and pretty much just floored us with what she was saying. I mean, jump in, Kev, if I mess any of this up. But again, she was repeating what they'd said, what Star Wars like meant to him, and what we meant to him. But she also was telling us that like these past few years, how she'd seen her dad like change and come alive, and she'd not seen that for a long time. And she was just so thankful to us and all his Star Wars friends for welcoming him into our community. And I was just fucking so taken back. Like week after week, you talk to your mates on a fucking Skype call or whatever, saying stupid things about Star Wars, and you don't realize like what an impact it can have on someone's life and make a positive change. And it blew us away, didn't it, Kev? It was
it was completely. So we were kind of leaving at this point. Let's just say this, because we were like, we'd spoke to Lucy, we'd seen Chloe, but we were both sort of saying we've not seen Abby. We've not seen Abby's other daughter. She'd been really quiet and very low key, completely understandable. So me and Chris and Michelle were just going to leave because Chris was driving. We were just kind of walk, because where this place was just beautiful, just like
unbelievable,
absolutely, a gorgeous place.
amazing.
And we said goodbye to Chloe, and then we were like, "Where's your mum? You know, can we say goodbye?" And she's like, "Look, she's not doing very well. She's having a moment outside." And we were just like, "Look, pass on our love and pass on our, our thanks and everything." But then we were leaving. So me, Chris, and Michelle were just leaving to go to the car. And we were kind of like, well, we've not seen Abby all day. But then literally we heard this voice from like these chairs that they were sitting on. And she was like, Kev, Chris, I need to talk to you. She come running over, mate, didn't she? Like, absolutely. She's like, look, I needed to speak to you before you left. I've been trying to get a moment all day, but I've not been up to it, blah, blah, blah. She says, and she gave us the absolute biggest hug. And she says, I cannot tell you what you meant to my dad and what that community meant. And it wasn't about Star Wars. It was about the friendship.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, there was no mention like, of, it was just, and like Chris said, she just was like that, and how much we all helped him and how much he helped us and how, what he meant to us, but what, we meant to him was something we weren't expecting. And it was, it floored us. And I actually said at that point, Jesus, Abby, I thought I'd done crying for the day, but you've just completely and utterly ruined us now. So we were just like, and she was wonderful. And it was just like, what a guy, what an absolute family he had. And it was just like, and Chris is right. I don't know how to put it eloquently, but like, pleasure's not the right word, but it was an honor for them to just let us go for a start, because they weren't forced to, like, they could have had a later private ceremony and not had people there. But it was just like, but they wanted, like Chris said, they wanted everybody to know. Not just me, not just Shawn, not just Chris, it was everybody in that community that he interacted with, everybody that, they meant the world to him. They meant the absolute world to him.
For me, I watched it remotely, and just to add, to kind of maybe add a slightly different way of my perspective on it. A lot of people spoke at the service, and they all say similar things to what we've said. And so I think the thing that is kind of out of body for me is you see all these well-spoken individuals who felt similar to what we have towards him. But then they all know us, and they're saying our names up there like we're in that same group. And it's just that was the part that just complete, like, people have reached out and said stuff, and it's like it's so weird. Like I feel like I'm in with weird. I'm in weird company. Like
Yeah.
that's what's so shocking to me. It's like, yeah, I know he was he meant a lot to me, but then to have all of these other people publicly state to us and our community that like, no, yes, he loves his family, and his Star Wars friends. It's like, dude, there's some amazing people who are up there talking. Their names didn't get mentioned.
Yeah.
It was family and us, and that part is just like, I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
It's.
I think we were saying driving to it as well, of like we weren't sure. It's a weird thing to say, but we weren't sure how like much of his family and friends, whether they knew how big a deal Star Wars was to him, and this like group of friends that he'd found. But then when we got there, believe me, they knew. Believe me, they knew. Yeah. And it was like, wow, you know, they know just what a Star Wars fan he was and just what this community he found was and how big it was and what a big deal it was. And like you say, when Chris hit the nail on that people were coming over going, oh, you're the Star Wars, you know, you're the ones he found, you're the Star Wars people. And it was great. It's just like, wow, you know, just opened our eyes. But they just wanted everybody to know. They just wanted the whole community of what that meant.
Yeah, it was very, very humbling. They absolutely did him proud. It was an amazing day. The whole experience, I'm still processing, and probably will for a while. But I can honestly say it's had a massive impact on me, and every day he's in my thoughts, and I'm just trying to live my life better, and just if I can bring joy to one person every day like he brought to us, then
yeah,
that's all I can do moving forward. Do you know what I mean? It's really has affected me and had a big impact on me, the whole thing. And like I think I said, all our lives were better for having known him. What a fucking lad. And now I've started a fucking Chewie collection, enter like a twat. Another rabbit hole that I don't need to go down, and more money to spend. And he's probably laughing his head off somewhere.
He's laughing his balls off at you, mate. Don't you worry. He's having a
I've got all this Chewie shit, haven't I?
And you know, mate, you know that he wants you to open it up in front of me as well. Like,
oh, mate, I will be doing. Oh, absolutely. I'm carrying that on, mate. So, yeah.
But yeah, we just.
Is there anything else you feel like you need to say, Shawn, or want to say while you're?
I think you
Sorry,
guys covered it.
Put
man.
you on the spot.
Thank you. No worries. Thank you guys for going. I know I didn't know if you were going or not, and I know then he sent me some pictures. Like I was obviously in Japan, you know, disassociating for a while, and then I watched it, but I finally got to really sit down and watch it, and saw you goobers walking around. And I appreciate the pictures you sent me. It was cool. Like I really appreciate that.
Yeah, cool. Shall we transition to greatness, Jimmy? To borrow one of your phrases there.
Oh, we are certainly great.
I'll preface this, mate. I've not seen Tales of the Underworld. I've not seen Tales of the Jedi or Tales of the Sith. So talk away. You guys go for it if you want to cover that.
It be quick on this. It'd be quick on
May 4th. I mean, they were just quick. They're just quick episodes, anyways. So the first, we were just talking about Asajj Ventress, and that was really cool. So there were 3 episodes about her, 3 episodes about our man, poor Ed will want to talk about when he's on next week, but fucking whatever, he'll talk about it then. Cad Bane, for the
Yeah.
last 3. That was a cool little origin story thing. But Asajj Ventress, just around the horn real quick. Kev, Shawn, and I, like, very interesting. We got a nice little peek at Dryden Voss and
Dryden.
Obi-Wan. Right?
Whoa.
You know,
all right,
wasn't that
all
cool?
right, all right. Yeah. That
I
was
like,
really
shit,
cool.
I got a book about that here somewhere. He's on a book. What the fuck could imagine
It
that?
was a really good intro, wasn't it, that start? Because I was like, oh shit.
Love
like,
that.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a really cool character. So it was like, they're nothing like spectacular, but like,
No.
they're really just like quite nice little side stories and cool little, quite interesting, like finding that Jedi, wasn't it? And just like hooking up with him. And yeah, it was all right, that up.
He reminded me of that guy in the Mandalorian season.
Mandalorian, yes.
The annoying kid bounty hunter.
Yeah,
when
I
we
thought
had the
that.
speeder chase. We
Yeah.
had a lightsaber this time. I don't know. It was cool. I mean, it's like they're like 17 to 18-minute episodes, 3 minutes for credits. So they're like little 15-minute thingies. You know what I mean? It was nice little snacks for us to enjoy while we're just gorging ourselves on Andor. I don't know why the hell they're releasing it now. They should
Yeah,
have
I
just waited
thought-
till afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I've beaten this horse to death by now, but similar, like I know I've said it before, but like similar to the Marvel What If series, like every time I watch these Tales of shows or some of the other kind of like one-shot things, I can't help but get that feeling in my head of like it serves a dual purpose. It's like, yeah, we're kind of giving you a little bit of taste of Cad Bane or whatever, but I feel like there's always another purpose of like they're using it as a way to like introduce like either like a new concept or like give a little more backstory on like something that's gonna later come up in a series or a movie, like especially Marvel's like, hey, we're gonna dip our toe in multiverse and then we're gonna go whole hog in it later. So I think Star Wars kind of does the same thing. It's like I don't know what they are yet. I don't know if it's gonna be Cad Bane returning and kind of having additional context of whatever, or if it's Asajj Ventress and like they did it a lot with like leading up to Ahsoka, like, oh hey, here's a bunch of stuff about Dathomiri witches. By the way, Ahsoka's here and yeehaw, here we go. There they are, and it's super weird. Like it's just kind of like edging you into new ideas, or like, hey, guess what? Witchcraft is real, and they can come back to life if you, whatever it is. So when I watch those, I always just have that like feeling in the back of my head. I'm like, what's the purpose of this? Why did they make 3 episodes on?
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a brilliant, because I was like kind of thinking, why are they bringing Asajj back then? Like, what is?
I mean,
what is the point to this in a long-term thing? Because obviously, she was dead. Now, then now
she's back.
Sisters. Now she's back, and I'm like, well, like Shawn says, but now you think, well, what is the actual long game with this then? Is she coming back in something else, like you say, Ahsoka, or is it something?
We're kind of open-ended with her with
Omega absolutely
as well, and Bad Batch.
Yeah.
When's it set?
After Bad Batch, I believe.
After Bad Batch, yeah. So it'll be.
Was it after Bad Batch?
I've heard multiple people say that. I've not looked it up myself, but I've heard a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I looked it up," and they said it was after Bad Batch.
When does Bad Batch finish?
I mean, Bad Batch finishes right before. I mean, right as the rebellion's happening. Yeah,
BBY 1.
sometime.
BBY 1.
Do you know what that means?
BBY.
Do you know what that means?
BBY.
One last time this week, mate.
I don't know. I mean, you would think they want to bring these characters back. Yet in the second one with Cad Bane, I mean, that motherfucker's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly, unless there's a way they can bring him back.
Chris, do you care about spoilers at all?
Not at all, mate. No.
His kid's not dead. Like, he's got a kid.
Oh, Cad Bane's got a kid?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's blue, and the other.
Yeah, he's blue and his friend is green, so there is an indication there that, the milkman may have played a role. The milkman
is
being
this
Cad Bane.
Cross species?
No, it's the same, but
no. The Cad Bane arc, it's like it shows Cad Bane growing up with his best friend on the rough streets of Duros or whatever the planet he was on. I didn't catch all that. I only watched it once, kind of like half with my kid. And he grows up on the tough streets wherever he is. He meets up with like a crime guy. His best friend is like, not really my thing, but Cad Bane's like, yeah, fucking let's go. And that's where he gets his hat from, because like his mentor, the person who took him in, almost like a father figure. Eventually he gets killed. Cad Bane assumes the reins, becomes the baddie now. And the good friend stays on the streets, becomes like a local marshal in their town. And, Cad Bane goes off and does all his bounty hunter shit. And as a eventuality, narrative, there's a showdown at the very end where he kills his best friend.
Yeah.
And then this,
That's it.
What a prick. What a
And
prick.
his best friend ended up marrying the
Cad Bane's like former squeeze.
former girlfriend before he
Yeah.
got arrested, and she was pregnant at the time. And
Pregnant with
blue
who,
kid.
we say. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, now there's a blue kid with a
Mhm.
green dad and green.
That's right. The best
A
friend was a
dog.
green Duro. Cad Bane a blue Duro, and the kid is the blue Duro. So I don't know. I don't know how this works. Genetics,
Colors.
Exactly. It's all color.
Going on,
So,
man?
I mean, what it seemed like they were inferring was like, oh shit, it's my kid, but he still killed him anyways. Not the kid, but the dad. But anyways,
Yeah,
all filler stuff,
walk-away-
kind of cool.
That was fine. They were fine. Nice little side things.
Yeah, neat little stories. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
We saw another Inquisitor chasing down Asajj Ventress. That was neat.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it?
Couple random
Yeah.
characters thrown in, but yeah, it was fine. Nothing really, ain't no Grand Admiral Thrawn in the first one.
I'm a Thrawn guy now.
Yeah,
It's true, mate. I told Michelle all about it the other day. She loved it.
I was listening to you tell that story, and I was like, man, how did we get here? And how are they still married to us? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Shall we go on to Andor, boys?
Yes, mate. Let's do it.
Andor.
Andor. And Andor.
So this arc, this third arc, I watched it all the way through as soon as it came on Tuesday night, like 9:30, 9:45, and then it's obviously too late for my wife to watch it, so we've been rewatching it. So I got a second rewatch in, boys, and then I got a third rewatch of just the last episode because Jesus Christ, it was so good. And we're about to get there. So around the horn real quick, this third arc of Andor, where we're really starting to like get into some of these, like this meat of all this stuff, the tragedy, the genocide that's going down on Gorman right now. Fuck, there's so much going on right now. And so very just super powerful, like held me grilled to my seat. Like you mentioned, Chris, about Mrs. H being just like, she did not fucking fall asleep this week. And I was like, I don't imagine many people did. So, yeah. Other like initial thoughts?
You go first, Shawn, as our guest.
It was one of those moments where I don't know if you guys have ever done this, like with a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, where you look at your like heart rate after the fact.
This happened.
I haven't done that in a while, but I did that for this. I was like, I think I could feel my heartbeat in my throat. Like
Kev got a warning on his watch.
Shawn,
Okay.
Shawn, brother, I swear, man, I got a fucking thing going. Your stress level is unusually high. Please take a breath.
So, yeah.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, and that's a good thing for me. I like that. I like it's good. It's good television. Like it's good. Just get the blood pumping, make you feel something, make you think about it. Love it. I love it. And 8 and 9 back to back is like just the right left hook. I loved it so much. I got a lot of thoughts. It's hard. It's weird. So my final thought on that is like, I'm not the biggest fan of 3 at one time. I just feel like it's not giving me the time to really it's like eating 3 courses of dinner. It's like of a meal at the same time. Being like, yeah, it was all really good. It's like, but did I taste all of it?
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, especially this week. This was the first one I got to watch live too. The other ones I watched like on a train or in a hotel room. And so I'm really happy that I got to come home and sit and not be bouncing my legs on a train as I'm having a panic attack of like what's about to happen next. Yeah, it was top tier. Madison hasn't seen it yet. I'm like Can we like catch up on Andor? You need to see this.
Bruh.
It's really
Hey,
good.
come on, come on. Yeah.
Fake fan over there. But yeah.
Oh.
Sweet. Yeah, it is a struggle with the 3 episodes, but they also, I don't know, when we watch them, they fly by, don't they, Kev? But
Yeah, mate.
then it's
Yeah.
like my whole
Absolutely.
evening. My whole evening's gone, and like my kids are still awake, and it's like 10:30, and I'm like, oh, I'm the worst parent ever. But but yeah, it's this was just another level, mate. Just top tier. I don't know where Star Wars goes from here, to be honest. When you pump out, me and Kev were just losing our shit, like proper. We've talked about this before. I love watching Star Wars with Kev because we both get so much into it, and there's multiple points we don't stay seated. And I goodness knows what Michelle's thinking, mate, when we're just, I jump off the sofa like all the time, and I do this thing where I like go, fuck me, and I walk around the room and then sit back down again, do a little lap. And I did that multiple times. And after the second episode, I mean, we'll get into it, we needed to have a break, didn't we? We normally just go back to back, and we paused it for a minute just to like gather ourselves. And I'd got my hands, I was like on the sofa, like stood above the sofa with my arms leaning on the arm of the chair, kind of heavy breathing, like trying to calm myself down. And I was like, what the fuck's going to happen in episode 9? Are they going to, what happens now?
I need a breather.
It's like a drunk bathroom break.
It was just as good, if not better, for me, that episode. But we'll get there. That's my initial thoughts. Mind fucking blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev.
Yeah, well, it set my watch off, did it? That's how fucking good it was. So, exactly. I don't think there are enough superlatives for this show. I genuinely think we are absolutely privileged. Not only is this some of the best written television, and it just happens to be in a franchise that we love. Do you get what I mean with that?
Yeah,
I got lucky with this one, boys.
Look, we all love Star Wars, and we've gone through it, but we'll all sit there sometimes and go, the writing of that were rubbish. That wasn't very good. That bit's brilliant. You know what I mean? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
This TV show, the way it's been structured, the way it's performed, the way it's written, the score is fucking absolutely just brilliant TV, regardless of it being Star Wars. But the fact that then it's Star Wars,
yeah,
right? For me, this franchise I've loved, I can't remember not loving it. It makes it even like, because then I get things like the fucking monster that will come for us all will be Emperor Palpatine. And I'm like, fucking sweet Jesus, this is just brilliant TV, but it happens to be Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chris said, I do not know, Star Wars is never going to be this good or this well written. It won't. It's just Gilroy just, I don't know if it's intentional in his writing, but just the parallels to today's world are frightening, and how brilliant he's written these sort of revolutions, and how brilliant he's written these characters, and how everything, you know, I mean, I've seen some people were criticizing the art before, it's a bit boring, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't, because we were getting up to this. This is where this was leading. And it is weird watching Three Ox, but I kind of think it's not worked too badly because of how this show's structured. Because it's gone like 4 years, 3 years, 2 year, 1 year. We're getting, you know, they're not saying you have to watch them all in one go, but us being Star Wars nuts do. And I fucking just can't gush over this show enough, because it is extraordinary, like genuinely extraordinary. And it's Star Wars. and it's
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, man, dude, that's you're telling the feels for it right now.
And it's astonishing, like genuinely. And like Chris said, it's the fucking. It sounds pop shit at the minute, but like, I love a Wednesday night just waiting for it to come on and just like
Yeah.
the excitement of like. But and it's like it's hard to describe because this it's so devastating, if that makes sense. And so this week was like, I know Star Wars isn't supposed to be when it, you know, well, it has always been a good and evil show, but like, it was horrifying, but brilliant TV. And yeah, like Shawn says, the episode 8 and 9 were just like,
Yeah,
what the hell are we doing? But fucking hell, me and Chris were having just
having a
was
good old
insane.
time.
It
Some
was
biscuits and
insane.
cheese.
Just drinks or just breaks. Stop it. It's like little, and I like as well because he's not. There are bits in it that you kind of do that with, but it's not pandering to the audience.
No,
It's like he, you know, I read it. Me and Chris were talking about because Gilroy did an interview and he was like, he wasn't a Star Wars fan, you know, and he came into this not as a Star Wars fan, but he absolutely, completely respects the source. I mean, now he is, and he understands it. But I don't know if that's helped this show or not. But fuck it out, it's just
yeah.
next level.
Honestly. If he doesn't know shit about Star Wars, he's definitely surrounding himself with people that do.
Yes.
And that are taking his ideas of the
Which is
storyline and just being like, these are who these guys. This is how we dress it up for it.
Well,
like he's not,
he
as
said
you said,
he's
not
got,
pandering, not having John Williams be a bartender in a scene and be like, "Ooh, look at this," and then moving on. You know?
Yeah, but he said that he's got to like hit certain things in the show. He knows he's got to hit. You know, he knew Mothma had to do the speech, and he had to do that, and he had to make sure that he didn't retcon anything or anything like that.
Yep.
And I know there's a little bit about how Cassian and K2, but that was a comic, so it's fine. But he knew from, you know, kind of Star Wars people that like, this is what you've got to hit in the show.
Yep.
You've got to get there. You've got to get to obviously this point at Rogue One, and fuck me, has he done it?
Yeah, and you got 3 episodes to tell this story.
And
you know?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, he said it studied revolutions all his life, and Christ, you could tell, because the writing for this has just been extraordinary.
Well, let's just instead of, we won't go scene by scene here for this stuff, but let's just talk about each of the character arcs. You know, give our vibes for it. See if they're going to live or die by the end of it. Spoiler: they're all going to be dead. I'll start. And I know this is weird. I said I wasn't going to go scene by scene, but I'm going to talk about the opening scene of episode 7, Messenger, just real quick. In that scene, here we go. We have the transport ship flying into Yavin. That's got Wilmot on it, I think, probably. It's got this X-Wing escort. And you mentioned score. For me, like, music's always been a big thing that, like, just I want to hear the music for, right? And all the music for the Yavin Revel base scene and everything around it, how they fucking live in the woods, is like not just like a bunch of rebels in hiding, but literally this is like a community of people, you know? And the music that I was watching on this scene, and just like watching this community of people like working together toward their common goal, like I immediately thought to the expanded universe books, honestly. Like the music, it writes
I'm stunned.
I know.
No way.
I'm shocked, I say.
Hot take.
Shocked. Hot take, Jimmy, right here. Oh my god.
Everything.
Because it gave me a sense to like how I should be viewing all other stories, right? In such a detailed light of like visualizing when we're on a planet or we're on a place, whether it's in a book or a comic or in a TV show, just given that feel of like this is all the stuff that's going on, and I don't know, I loved seeing it. It just made me, I don't know, made me really happy. Like, I would love to see more episodes about just them living there and doing the day-to-day shit. I want to see the day-to-day stuff of like that Force healer in that camp on Yavin 4. That Cassian
was
was
cool.
totally fucking
That was
spooked
cool.
out about. But
Yes.
you know, from my perspective, it seemed like she was somebody with some minor Force power, and it's
Yeah.
very attuned into healing, right? That's just her thing, you know, not strong enough to be a Jedi, or you know, just has some touch with the Force where she's able to, like, you know, fix things and like heal people and stuff. And like, the whole community there was great. Anybody.
The thing
This
the
is
thing I liked about the
sorry.
force healer stuff was that, like, I like the stories where it's like, because everybody seems so black and white. They're like, Force, what's that? Ho do 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 do. Or it's like Jedi level, like, oh, this is the Force. I like these like middle ground stories where people are interacting with it and they don't understand it. I think that stuff is really cool because
It's like they're talking
fleshes
about it
out-
without talking about it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, you just feel really important, and we can all sit back as viewers going, oh, like, okay, like I see what's going on here, but it makes the universe feel more real. Like, it's not just lay people and like wizards. Like, there's in between areas and stuff too, and people are trying to like figure it out, and it's not well documented, I guess. I think that's what's really cool about the Force healer stuff. Sorry, Chris, I cut you off.
No, it's all good. I was just going to say, this is one of the cool things that I get to experience watching it with Kev, is that I don't even think he realizes he does this sometimes, is that you sit comfortably in your chair and you're sat watching TV and you're taking it all in. But like when we're watching Star Wars content, like you sat normally following the story. But when there's an element of, air quotes, Star Wars in it, he jumps forward and he leans forward. So as soon as that woman came over to talk about Cassian and like the interaction she was having with Bix, he does this thing where he goes, fucking hell. And he jumps forward, almost like being closer to the TV is going to enhance the,
I didn't even know I was doing that, mate.
the Star Wars experience.
Enhance.
Obviously, there's a Force element come into it that we weren't expecting in the show. So it was just it makes it cool when Kev freaks out about stuff like that. But no, I loved that interaction and what that's led to, and obviously the title of the episode, Messenger.
Yeah.
And it just makes me think, because we've heard several times in interviews, and they said it quite a lot at Celebration, after we've seen the show, we're going to watch Rogue One in a different light, and things are going to be different in Rogue One.
Big time.
And I think this element of the show, even just that little bit, even if we don't get more of it in the next arc, I think it's enough. And obviously that led to, if we're sticking on their storyline, Jimmy, that leads to Bix's decision at the end.
Indeed.
She realizes that Cassian's got a purpose, and this interaction with this woman has made her realize that, whoa, this guy's important. He's going to do something. And the fact that he's called the Messenger, like, and he goes on to fucking help send
do great things
of the Death Star plans. I mean, just what writing, unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, tying into that moment, Luthen's reference to him being like, "You appeared for me at all the right moments that I needed you."
Yeah, and how Star Wars is that? If that makes sense,
right?
You know, I've read some people go, "This isn't Star Wars," and blah blah blah, but I'm like, that's complete Star Wars. The fact that this Force healer could sense that he had a purpose beyond anything. It's like he's doing, you know, he's here for a reason, and and the fact that we know what he's gonna do, like later on, the fact that we know where this is going is just like, holy shit, this is a destiny, to be corny, you know, and what have you. But it's like, oh my god, this is just, that was brilliant. I love that bit. I love that scene, and like you say, I wasn't expecting that in this show.
No, not at all, because it goes back to the grand thing of, like, obviously the main what we know Star Wars for is the story of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
He's a chosen one. He's going to bring balance
Yeah.
to the Force. He's got a destiny. But
Yep.
I
And
love
Luke-
I love the idea of like Cassian's the everyman. He's do you know what I mean?
That he's yeah.
and
To,
he's
yeah,
got a
to every
purpose,
person
and
he comes across.
Yeah.
he's got a purpose, and he's got a. So it's kind of like we've all got a purpose and a reason, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
We saw him inspire the Sinar test pilot tech in the very first couple opening scenes.
Yeah.
Like, he gave her that gift of like faith, inspiration.
That was so cool. Yeah. But
Yeah,
we
the
have a
Force
butterfly
surrounds
effect.
us,
Yeah.
binds us together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
And
very-
go
ahead.
while we're on this story arc, I will say, when he took his shirt off, me and Kev both cheered, and I said, "Nipples, that's 1 point. Thank you very much." We see Cassian shirtless. I'll take a point for that.
Listen, very first fucking line of this episode. I'm surprised nobody has said it yet. Take your shirt off. That was this entire arc 3, first line. Take your
Did
shirt
Kev-
off.
Did Kev lean in for that one too? It's like,
Oh, I did. I was about this far from the TV show at
He
that
leaned
point.
in to hide something else that was rising, you know? The Towers of Isengard.
He's a fine-looking man. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like fate brings all those people together. Like, Willman shows up, and Willman has fuck, dude, I got this bio of Bix on this 1995 4-bit screen here that kind of looks like her image from Dark Forces 1. But yeah, Bix senses that greater purpose for Cassian, even in Cassian's maybe he's he knows that there is he feels something there, but he's not letting his ego or being too proud to admit that that is what it is. He's just trying to listen, I'm not Jesus Christ, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to get to it, but it goes through the fucking Gorman massacre, witnesses that firsthand. I don't care who you are, that's enough to shake anyone, isn't it? And he comes back from that and he's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
What I've just seen is insane.
it's
I'm out.
refreshing to see somebody in the Star Wars universe not have their arc figured out by themselves. It's nice to see Bix be that forcing function for him. Because he could just have it be oh, I saw the Gorman massacre and I'm reformed. I'm going to be the savior of everything and do all the right things. But he's not. And that to me is very refreshing to have it come to Bix being yo, I'm leaving. Because you have to do this.
Yeah, man. So traumatizing though.
Yeah, not to jump ahead as well, Shawn, because that's a point me and Chris were talking about this. Because I'll be honest, when Bix left that message for the first time, I was kind of oh, does that sit right with me at that point? Because it was all, you're right, and this is why I'm not a writer and Tony Gilroy is. All right, because it makes absolutely 100 perfect sense that she actually leaves, and everybody was thinking she's going to die. That's going to make Cassian join the rebellion because he's going to revenge that, or he's seen this massacre and it's going to be that. But it's actually her going, I need to make this decision for you. Yeah. I need to go. And the more I've thought about that as that episode finished, the more I'm like, that is a perfect bit of writing. That it's not, he hasn't had that because of that. It's just she's got to make that decision. And it's a heartbreaking scene. Genuinely, him watching that video. I
like how it's cut as well. She was you're listening to her narrate that video, but also we're jumping ahead in time and seeing him run after her as she's still talking, and it was cut together really well.
Yeah.
Again, fucking, it just feels daft throwing all. I've not got the vocabulary, but throwing all the fucking superlatives at this show. But it's not just the writing; it's the the way it's edited, the way it's shot, the way, and don't even get me started on the acting. Every fucking, even the people in the background, mate, that have got like half a line, have turned up. Right, I'm gonna act the shit out of this. Like, are we serious? It's unreal, mate. Just absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
Don't even get when we get to Mothma, mate. Fucking hell, she might be my new favorite Star Wars character.
Mine too, mate.
Just,
mine too. Mine too.
Anyway,
Yeah.
any more on Bix and Cassian before we move to
The massacre?
the massacre?
Oh my goodness. What are we saying, Jimmy?
Jimmy, you're on mute.
Your mic's off, mate. Oh.
Well, okay, keep rolling.
Yeah.
Anything
so-
to add, Shawn?
Oh God. So we're talking about Bix and like we're not talking. We'll talk about Wilm. I have thoughts on Wilman and stuff later, like when we talk about what we think is coming up, because I think there's some threads that were left undone, like specifically around.
I mean, he's got to die. Wilbon. Sorry.
Yeah, and like
But he gonna die.
And like the Saw Gerrera stuff, like so there's some like threads there that I think come back and like kind of connect all that. But we can chat about that when we get.
We'll get to that later.
The end.
I know, right. So, shall we go to the Goldman Massacre?
Yes.
I'd like to not go there, thank you.
Yes.
Just, oh my God.
So on this one, at minute 11:24, we have Dedra Miro talking to Partagaz in that scene. She's in, like, I call it the skiff, the Imperial skiff, the secure transmission area. You know what I mean? Like where they have all their secure transmissions with the Empire. It's very similar to a skiff, but the light is shining up. It's like a very dark room, right? And the light is shining up at Dedra Miro. So when that happens, you see her just highlighted in a very like odd way. And she's got that, the downy face that she refers to it as, because she's got this just nastily beautiful resting bitch face. And the light shining up to highlight the bottom of a person's silhouette typically is associated with, from like a theater perspective, hell, the devil, evil, Satan, because it's coming from the bottom, the hell is opening up and that's what's in there. And so very, very poetic that this is the way that they chose to light her for this scene, as Partagaz is saying, like, we don't give a goddamn what the Gormans are actually doing. We have enough evidence to go in and just destroy this fucking planet now. And what I've seen written in like the Alphabet Squadron books, which deals with Imperial officers that switch to the New Republic side and how they're coping with their guilt and how like they're trying to figure out, like, I did a lot of bad shit for the Empire, but I'm trying to turn around now. Partagaz making Dedra give the order, like, you're the finger, I'm the trigger. Gives the order because like that's how the Empire maintains its control, right, over people. It makes others, by making like officers and people like culpable and responsible for the actual awful actions of like making this happen, kind of thing. Even though it's like she could have been there, she couldn't have been there. That was what happened at Gorman, was going to go down exactly the way that it went down without her. But that's how the Empire.
That's what the Empire wanted.
Traps you in there, and it loops you, and it like sucks you in. Like, do you think she's going to exit the Empire after this? I don't know. We'll see. But it's certainly, for most people, not as strong as my girl Dedra. They would just fold under the Empire and be like, yeah, all right, this is just who I am now. This is what I'm doing. Like the Sergeant Scarface guy, sending all those new recruits out into a violent protest. Like, they all knew that this shit was going to happen. They're staging it. They're setting it up. And they don't care who gets hurt. That's the Empire.
That was brutal. Sending all them young'uns.
And just
she even said, didn't she? Oh, they look like kids.
These are children.
Yeah.
You gotta know it. Even the sergeant, like their leader, sent him out. I was like, you want to send them out? They're fucking green. And it's like, are we gonna have a problem? And he's like, no problem, sir. Fucking do whatever you want. And they all ended up dead anyways. But
they drug it out. They made you sit with it. Like, you knew what was coming. Yeah, like in every little bit, like they showed you the pieces of it and like how they didn't just like, it would be easy to have the people go to the square. Like, I think that's about Andor. One of the things I like is that it kind of subverts expectations in the storytelling of like, normally they just go to the square, some Empire guy get pissed, and then all hell breaks loose. It's like, no, they drug that out, and like they send the green guys out, and it's like, when's it gonna happen? Okay, they're beating up on them. It's like, oh God, just it's like, let it happen. I know it's coming. Just do it, and then they don't. They could just more and more and more, and then Cyril's involved, and it's it's that heart rate. It's the Kev's watch kind of
Big
stuff
time.
going on.
Yeah. Well,
Big
the
time.
tension that was building was so well done, because we all know it, it's going to come, but the fact that the previous arc had been laying the foundation of this revolution and these Gormans, and you got to kind of know them a little bit, that at this point how that tension was being ramped up, that it was like, this is going to be, like Chris said, brutal is the word, because it was absolutely, masterfully done, like genuinely masterfully done, how they played it. And it was like, what, and Dedra was just, like you say, Jimmy, we knew the Empire had to do this. They wanted this to get to this,
They needed Gorman. They needed that calcite. Calcite.
Well, they knew from the
Calcite.
beginning. They knew from the very beginning there was never going to be an alternative. It's like all the way back to the Krennic meeting. It's like, I need somebody to come up with an idea how we could slaughter all these people when this happens.
In the reasoning for something like that, like something that I would have read in the books back in the day, the reason the Empire would have done that was like, oh, well, the Empire can get the calcite another way, but it would take like 2 or 3 times as long, and this way just like gets it done quicker. Who cares? Who cares about those lives? We're just going to do it this way. That's the kind of like, I would be surprised to see that kind of explanation ever written in a comic or a book or a TV.
And that's what makes it even more scary, though, Jimmy. The fact that they're hiding the truth from what they're really doing and making, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's
through disinformation, right?
Yeah,
we kind of saw the Fox News host in the Gorman Square in Palmo.
That was insane. Me and Chris were pissing ourselves. We got newsreaders in Star Wars. Shit up, mate. Fox News in Star Wars.
I mean, how many of us, myself included, saw Cyril's mom watching that Fox News and be like, "Fuck, that's my mom right there." Right?
Yeah.
How many of us from that generation are just like, shit, because our parents are wrapped up in that fucking bullshit. Totally succumbed by the media kind of thing. It's like, damn, man. And this was all recorded before current events, by the way, like a year ago. So it's
I know.
like,
That's what's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. Ooh. So Gorman Massacre did not fail to disappoint. It was violent. It was emotional. Man, we got to see the K2 droids unleashed.
Oh, scary with them bad boys. Fucking hell.
That was like pure terror. That was like real terror right there. They're just like crushing people, and I loved it.
I thought we were gonna get a full Scorpion for a minute. I'm like, they're gonna Scorpion somebody on their head. Like, they had restraint, and they didn't do it. It was still scary,
right?
And still crunchy, but.
I mean, he took the girlfriend, one of the Resistance fighters, the daughter or whatever she was, like, just picked her up, threw her, and it was like, oh yeah, that's like neck bone, spine cracking snap.
That's some Mortal Kombat stuff there.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Like, so with this Gorman thing, we got Dedra. She's clearly a little bit torn here. And her boy Cyril, he's actually starting to find this shit out, that like, wait a minute, the Emperor actually isn't concerned with finding the Gorman front and finding outside agitators. They just keep coming up with all this bullshit and these like excuses for it. And we get some moments with Dedra and Cyril Karn that is just like a little bit interesting, boys?
Yeah.
Very emotional, very passionate.
That strangle when it was like, holy shit. Like,
oh yeah. He's like finally calling her out on his bullshit. Like he's had enough of being manipulated by his mom. And now by Dedra and the Empire, he's just like, he snapped. Fucking snapped.
Well, we've known all along, though, haven't we, that Dedra's kind of been more accepting of what they've been doing, and the Imperial,
right? And she
and-
cares about him too. She's like, she
But that's the
kissed
thing,
him very
that she's
passionately,
like-
which is out of
yeah.
character for her.
Yeah. And then we see, I don't know if like guilt is the right word later on, but like, yeah, you could see him and how affected he was by it, by her
Yeah.
sort of how far she was going with this, and it was,
Yep.
you know, genuinely shocking. Like,
Or how complacent she was
mm.
with it, right? I think that's the word of his ear. Like you knew this was happening, and you purposefully kept this from me, like essentially just wasting my time.
Well, she's deceived him. She deceived him all along.
100%. And she
It's just
said,
complete deception, and he's just like calling her out, and finally, like, what the fuck? What are you doing? What is this? You know,
the meanest fucking thing that she said, and that's what always happens in these impassioned arguments between lovers, scorned lovers. You know what I mean? She's like, you didn't mind all the promotions. And it's like, oh, that, like, you know, that when she said it, I feel like she had some immediate regret there. And
Well,
he took that
it's
real
not just the
personally.
dick. Yeah, it's not just that. It's like, but it's also implying that like the promotions weren't earned. Like it's because
Exactly. It's because of this.
what she's been doing too, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I've always been
Kinda
a
took
Cyril
away.
apologist. I've never been on team anti-Cyril. It's like I've always felt like I don't really feel like he's done
Team
anything super
anti-Cyril.
evil. Like she's done evil. Like she's had all of the like a 360 view, 5,000-foot view of everything, and knows what's going on. And I feel like he's never had that, and like he's just been somebody who's been brainwashed and thought he was doing the right thing. And
well, he's had an accidental role in all this, hasn't he? It's like been an accident that he's found. You know, it's like, yeah.
Oh, I mean, he now feels partially responsible for this because he's given them all this information for enough for them to create this propaganda, to stage fake bombings, to stage these super highly propagandized events. And like all the Gormans are just like, what the fuck? Who's firing the missiles? Liz has a nap, but we can't because we have to fire the missiles.
I mean, he feels like the most real character, the most realistic character in all of Star Wars to me. Like Cyril is like, you're the most human. Like, get caught up in something that you have no clue. Like, it's easy for us as viewers to look at it and go, like, yeah, you're hanging out with the bad guys. But then,
are we the baddies
like,
now?
No, you should have known. It's like, yeah, this is what happens to people. They get caught up in something you have no idea until that last minute. You're like, wait a minute, like I'm responsible. What am I responsible for? Like I'm the butterfly that caused all these things all this bad stuff to happen. And
maybe not the butterfly, but definitely a part of the swarm. You know what I mean? My wife said something. She's just like kind of chuckling a little bit through this. Is like, why are you chuckling right now? And she's like, how is he just chilling, casually walking through like Jesus through a storm, and just not getting hit by any of these errant blaster bolts? You know, Cyril's just like standing in the middle of all this chaos. Everybody's just dying left and right, and he's just like just casually looking around, and then he spots our man Diego ready to take the shot at his girl, and he's like, "This is all I got left. Like I nothing else, but I will protect like my love and my love interest, stage 5 clinger kind of way, and just go at him." That was a pretty cool fight. He had him, boys.
Do you know?
Fucking had him.
I was thinking about this. Has there been a fight? Like
not like that. Not
Star
like
Wars,
that.
Star Wars doesn't really do fights like that, does it?
Star Wars does like the Indiana Jones Harrison Ford punches. Like that's the kind of shit that they do.
Yeah, you've had like, but this was a brutal fight, and I was like,
I love it.
We were watching it, Chris. Weren't we going like, this is fucking brilliantly like done? It was like proper full on fist fight, wasn't it? Jeez.
No force involved. Everybody's just all muscle.
Yeah,
pulling hair, shoving faces. Dude, the grenade that went off that knocks Cyril out. I thought he was toast then. And he gets up, he's just like all fucked up and shit. Good on Cassian. This probably saved him life because it like paused him for moments. Like, and again, the title of episode 8, "Who Are You?" And he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And then Cyril's probably just like, I've known who you are since the very beginning, yet Cassian has got no fucking idea, right? Because he did have that one interaction with him last episode of season 1, but that was it. I think he just like held him hostage or whatever, and if he got a glance at him, it clearly was just in passing.
I think it was from behind, wasn't it? He didn't see him. He was just like,
gun to his head kind of thing, then bound him. Yeah,
I love that.
Came from behind.
Is Cyril the source of that gun that like gets brought up later? Like somebody posted a picture of like, was
You're
Cyril
not talking
the
about that
original
Briar blaster pistol, are you?
the one that like was at the end with Melchi? Like didn't it
That
start with Cyril and then get stolen by Andor, and then Andor got captured and gave it to so and so, and then like down, and now it's at Yavin.
I don't know if it was Cyril's pistol or if it was the pistol that he shot the Morlana 1 guys with initially.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not
this time.
one Cyril. Yeah, okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know. That deserves a rewatch and a separate episode dedicated to that analysis. What do you think? We'll put that in the Patreon, right, Christopher?
Yes, mate. I love the "Who are you?" I think Dave Strutty, producer Dave, put on our Discord. It was what a punch in the dick.
Seriously.
Before you're about to like bite a bullet. Like, who
he
are
didn't
you?
even know who he was. Yeah,
it's just like that stunned. He was like, "How the fuck can you know? I've been chasing you, mate. You're the whole reason I'm in this fucking situation." Like, brilliant.
So at that point, because I'm going to rewatch, because you've rewatched this, Jimmy, haven't you?
Yes, I've seen it two full times through.
So before Cyril gets shot, do you think he would have shot Cassian?
Well, he was
ready. Do you think he was kind of like, why am I doing all this?
I think he definitely still would have shot him.
Because I've kind of wondered about this as I've like gone.
There's more to that question, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, is he? Because obviously he says, "Who are you?" Because he don't know who he is.
Yeah.
That stuns him. Like, that's the punch in the dick. But also, is he asking that of himself? That who am I? Why am I?
That's my point.
I love that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, because I need to, and I'm kind of like, he does that. He stop. I remember from watching it the first time, and he stops, and it's like, and he's like, "Who are you?" And I'm wondering at that point.
I'm not fucking sure who I am.
Which makes his death even more tragic, because he's then all of a sudden he's just like bang, and he just shoots him.
Boom.
And he's like, "Why am I doing this? Who am I actually? I've been deceived by, the Empire and this woman I'm in love with." And
I thought he was gonna drop the gun and walk away and just
walk
away.
Or at least say something. You know what I mean? But instead, at minute 35, 32, you see Cyril go down for the long nap.
And it's really sad. This character that's like...
Yeah. And now Diego is just like, fuck it, whatever. It was poetic that it was the Rylan, which is his name, I think.
Yeah.
The old man, the old French Gorman man. French Gorman man, that wasted him, because he's just like appealing to Cyril. Like, Cyril's just like, tell me what I want to know. And the guy's just like, fuck him. There is nothing. There are no, like, there's nothing here. Like, what do you want from me? And he's like, what do you want from this planet?
Was he the guy who starts the song?
No, the guy who started the song was like the big guy. Yeah, he's the guy who did the cool middle finger fuck you thing with the arms. He held his
that Revolution song was great. That was like,
oh dude, it was like
well done.
It's like their
like a French resistance song.
Their anthem or whatever. That was beautiful. And again, the music, right? The music.
Yeah,
just helped building that tension in it.
Yeah. Oh, mate, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But that guy the guy who was like the leader of the French resistance,
the old man, that killed Cyril. Mate, there was a shot of him after everything, and he was just like sat, leant up against a wall, like crying. And it was only a simple, like, it weren't very long. It was brutal. It was just so brutal. Yeah, that's at 40:23, by the way.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look like it. He looks so emaciated, like he's been crying, and he's just so defeated and just like lost
'Cause it's just
everything.
that devastation. Because he was the
Yeah.
one guy that realized what was happening, and he was trying
Yeah.
to tell everyone, like, "What the fuck? No,
Stop.
what you
No,
doing?
don't fall
This-
into this. Yeah.
This
Yep.
is a
It's like
trap."
This is an imperial trap. Yeah.
it reminded me a lot of like those photos you see after like a real life tragedy, like photographers take, where they're like sitting on the ground,
Yeah,
like somebody
absolutely.
like the aftermath and like the dust, it's still going on, or like the dust is settling, and it's like it just felt very real. It's like we're
Yeah.
taking a second, capturing a real emotion of somebody who's
Yeah.
still in it, like, and they're just this is where I'm at. Like, it doesn't matter if they make it in or I make it out or not, but it's just capturing that raw emotion of how serious this was.
Yeah.
You get that silent moment of Dedra at the end, 4136, when she's in the skiff.
Fuck
Acting.
me. That was incredible.
Uh,
She's
I-
what's her? Is it Denise Goff? Is that
Denise
her?
Goff, yes.
Mate, she's like throw everything at her, mate. Throw at all the pundits, mate. She is
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
plaudits. Sorry.
Yeah.
That scene alone.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And I've heard some people saying like she was reacting to Cyril choking her. She weren't.
She was not.
No.
That
No.
was her not being able to breathe because she got so much anxiety in that moment.
That was guilt.
Yeah.
Everything.
Unbelievable. Brilliant.
Brilliant
Yeah,
in that.
She's trying to fix her uniform, like,
The way-
you
yeah,
know,
the
like
way she took the
shaking the
uniform
blood
out.
off it, but she's just so like physically convulsed
Brilliant.
and physically sick from it. She's just a zombie. You know what I mean? She's like undead. You know what I mean? She's a
Yeah.
thrall.
We call that feeling the starch. That's when you're wearing a shirt and all of a sudden you're in an uncomfortable moment and you start to feel all the starch and how stiff it is. I'm just like, oh, this shirt is
Yeah.
a little stuffy. Is it get hot in here? Why
Yeah,
can't I breathe?
just wild.
I want out of this.
Yeah.
Yep, just wild. And I guess we'll see. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens to my gal Dedra in this third arc, because she's still my favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna be okay if they don't, like, if that there's no closure, like that's just the last we see of her?
I guess I'd be okay with it, because I would have like a hope and a prayer that someday they could bring her back for something. But it's like there's no more story to tell after this, unless she's gonna have. Here we go. Hot take. All of a sudden, somebody shows up and sweeps her away to like, no. You are going to the final order. We're going to take you off to the unknown regions now because your work here is done. Nah, we're not.
Jimmy,
we're not
you're in-
quite at that. We're not at that point yet. But I think she gets a noble end. Nah, she'll either die by Bix. You know, maybe Bix comes back and kills her. I don't know if Bix is coming back or not.
did
Bix
think-
might
I
just
did
be
think that-
gone.
I thought that on the True or False, but because of the writing on this, I'm kind of thinking they might not do that now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to kill everybody, you know?
No,
Leave it
they don't.
open and give it a few
don't.
years, you know what I mean? In a few years, maybe they'll do something. Maybe we'll see her pop up again later in some, Marvel Universe bullshit they're doing in the Mandoverse right now. I don't know. We'll see. But
But what if that's the case with Bix, that they don't kill her off? And we know that she's alive by the time of Rogue One. So when Cassian's sacrificing that.
yeah, she's going to be really pissed off that she just fucking like left him. Now he died on a beach planet without
And
her.
but the fact that he's leaving her behind. It's like, Jesus, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I think
He's
that's
going on
I
that
think that's
journey.
what's going to happen. I think she'll
Yeah.
make it. I think she's going to make it. I think she's going to be take on a life. I don't want to say like a monk, but she's like a believer kind of now, and not even necessarily the cause, but just kind of like how the universe works. And I think that'll be her kind of life's mission of like doing good, kind of like going from like war to going into like charity and like humanitarianism kind of stuff. I feel like that's where her path is taking her.
You're going to see a new clip, epilogue clip, end of the arc 4. She's going to roll up on Scarif and the Moldy Crow, pull up and say, guys, I only got space for one. Pops in Diego. Bye-bye, Jen. Gone.
And
Calling it.
R5D4 will be on the ship as well.
Listen, I got a 6 leg parlay on that, okay? Don't shit on it just yet. Anything else on Gorman Boys? Shall we transition to the final one?
The final one. Let's
the
go.
creme
Come
de
on.
la creme.
Yeah, just before we move,
Please.
do we like the K2 origin?
Oh, good.
we
Thank
like
you for
how-
reminding me.
Yes. I
How we
do.
found him? Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I'm
yeah,
fine
he's
with
great.
it.
Yeah.
and I like the fact it was the guy the guy from the French Resistance that fucked up and killed Cinta.
Yeah.
That saved Cassian because he kind of came good and did something. Do you know what I mean? He's like, it doesn't excuse what he did, but he was the guy driving the tank, wasn't he? That like,
Yeah,
smashed
that saved Cassian's life. You know, I know everybody was just like, "Cool, he redeemed himself." I'm like, meh.
It's not.
I would have been fine if he just like lived in misery forever, because that's more true to life, isn't it?
Yeah,
you not
I don't
always
see
get
it's
the chance.
like, I just like it was him. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was
Yeah,
like,
I know. Hey, I
Yeah.
mean, Star Wars is not anything but redemption, right? Star Wars is all about
Yeah.
redemption. So, all right, Numbnuts gets his thing. Un baguette.
Un baguette.
Oui. It was Elena was well. Some people I saw online because I listened to like Corey Loses and some of these other guys on YouTube because they do a lot of cool Empire at War videos, but they do reviews and Eckhart's Ladder and shit. A bunch of Canadians, and a couple of them were talking like, why would you just think to take the K2S droid kind of thing? And it's like, I feel like Cassian was just like, this is Imperial tech that like laid waste
Absolutely.
to everybody. So it's like,
Absolutely.
we
it
could
was.
use
That's-
this.
Yeah,
I
that's
need
what
your help. Throw this fucking thing in the thing.
What's
Yeah.
in that thing's brain, mate? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What can
Yeah.
we learn from this?
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
damn right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then I guess wrapping up that K2, the final scene with K2 where Bix is just now like, all right, I'm swapped in the rebellion mode. I was like, give me the gun. Don't need the glasses. Press that fucking button, asshole. Let's go. It's like, quit messing around. Let's get started here. That was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this episode, come on.
Yeah, episode 9. Welcome to the rebellion. Wow, what a great line that was.
What a great line.
Immediate aftermath of Gorman, we're seeing all this shit go down, and Mon Mothma's finally just like, I gotta say something, and apparently what I'm going to say is going to get me in super trouble, so we're all just going to go to Yavin. Apparently everybody knows about Yavin. Like, come on, man. Empire's got to have some spies around here and somewhere being like, they're just openly talking about Yavin in like a busy place in Imperial Palace or Imperial Senate. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's just me.
Oh, it's kind of
I'm being a
down,
nitpick.
though.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm being a
it's on the
nitpick. I'm being the nitpick.
You are Jimmy there. Come on. That's
Yeah, I
only
know.
later.
That's the Miller High Life talking.
Personally, I thought Benjamin Bratt did a great job.
He did.
I thought it was.
He did.
I'd love it to be Jimmy Smith. We talked about that last week, but I think in his
Yeah.
absence, did a great job, and for me, delivered one of the lines of the fucking show so far.
Which was?
Tear this shit apart.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant that was. I was like, let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
That was pretty
A
great.
boy.
They've used shit like
Did
3 or
she?
4 times this season. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm up for it.
Yeah.
It was perfect execution in that. I
And
mean,
boy, did she.
they talked about this on Spelt Out, but I'm cool with them saying the word shit because obviously the Star Wars equivalent is poodoo. Now, can you imagine that line just wouldn't hit, would it? Like, can you tear the poodoo out of this place?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's going to become a comedy, but obviously it got delivered like that. It got the emphasis and yeah.
Is it weird
shit.
if I was is it weird that I was like, it took me out just like a little bit? Just like a little
What,
bit.
the word
Took me out.
shit?
It just took me out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We just
No, I
need
get
more of it
that.
so you get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I'm not hating on it. It just like when I heard it, I was just like, oh, like I'm not gonna forget that. Like that happened.
Yeah.
You know. I was thinking, it's like, well, what if they did Sith spit? And I was like, no, I can't really use that. What if they come up with another one? And it's like, nah, just might as well don't come up with another swear word. Just use the swear word we all know. So it was.
Yeah.
It was
I think that was a
wisely done.
smart move. That was.
It was still. It felt weird. It just felt weird for me.
Mm.
Was it as weird as Fight the Empire at the end of the? It's like,
Yeah.
I think
The
that this is them
Marva?
making up for that.
Fu-
Yeah, the Marva.
yeah,
They're
fuck
getting
the
that shit in
Empire.
there. they're going to get a couple
Yeah.
shits in this season because they wanted to do fuck the Empire. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Fight the Empire.
honestly though, the fight the Empire,
it worked.
it
worked,
worked.
yeah.
It worked. It
Because-
worked. It worked. It
And
worked.
she delivered that brilliantly.
If they
Like
said
Fiona
fuck,
Shaw.
I don't know. It really would have taken me out. I was like, come on.
Oh, can you imagine the meltdown for that? Oh my god.
I mean, not a I mean, I'd be less concerned of them saying swear. It was just like, I don't know. It was just a little weird for me, but I still love it. But yeah, we have this whole episode going down the build up to like the extraction of Mon Mothma, essentially, because like, all right, she's going to do something real dumb here. Well, maybe not real dumb, but she's going to do her action, her Aldani, her like moment of like overt stance against the Empire kind of thing, and she needs to get yanked out of there. That was a really cool, almost like not quite Ocean's 11, but just like how they just like, we're gonna get her out of here, and you're gonna be set up here, and someone's gonna be here, and fuck it, we're just gonna blast our way out of this damn building. That was pretty awesome.
It was great, mate. I loved this episode. Might be my favorite over the episode 8. To be
Gosh,
honest,
Genevieve O'Reilly did such a good job, huh?
mate. She's fucking next level, mate. Just
Legendary.
brilliant.
I don't know
Absolutely
how.
brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know how these awards things work, but if they don't submit that episode for like Emmy nomination for her,
Yeah,
then there's
Yeah.
something. Because I think, like Chris, she's quite extraordinary, and it was like, and I said we watched the declassified thing after, wasn't it?
yeah. Do you
And
guys
she
watch
was-
that on YouTube? There's like a little each week.
No,
on
no,
the
I haven't.
It's
official-
I haven't
really
seen
good.
those.
It's really good. And
Go ahead.
she was basically saying that like she told Tony Gilroy to write her that speech, and she wanted to perform it all in one go, to memorize it, perform it all in one go, and then she's like, "Do what you want with it. If you need to cut it up, but I want to do that speech from start to finish, no edits, no
Yes.
cuts." And she said it was just like empowering.
She was
wasn't it?
saying, like, as a character, like, I've embodied this character for a good 10 years now. This is I've looked forward to this moment the most, because this is her decision. This is where she's gonna actually.
Mhm.
I'm all in now.
She
There's no turning.
activates.
Yeah, there's no turning back from this. She was so
Yeah.
excited, weren't she, about doing the speech? And mate, I wish. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen in these shows, and it would be weird just pointing a camera at Kev and filming him the whole show. But I wish I had the moment on tape so I could show everyone his actual reaction when she dropped the word Emperor Palpatine at the end.
Right?
Come on,
It was like he was in the actual Senate and he was acting to it there, and then he flew off the sofa. And
If
went,
nobody
"Fuck
reacted
yeah!"
to that, there's something wrong, because that whole thing, it's just the lines though, that
Yeah.
like the monster. What did she say? The monster that screams the loudest, the monster that we help create, or something, and the monster that will come for us all. I'm like, fuck me, like I was absolutely.
She talks
engrossed.
about
Then
the
we-
end of truth, doesn't she? And
Yeah,
like,
there's loads of stuff in it.
like you say, like the parallels to today's world are extraordinary. But
Wild.
this was brilliant. The fact that Cassian was the one, I'd never even thought about that being a thing. Like Cassian's the guy that gets her out of the Senate. Like, of course he is.
Yeah.
And that, how much more impact does that have now when you get to Rogue One and they're in that room together on Yavin, and she introduces
saved
him
her
to
ass.
Jin, like,
Yeah.
this is Captain Cassian Andor. You're like,
Yeah.
fucking yes, mate. Get in.
Yeah.
What a dude as well. What is it? I have friends in many places.
Oh yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. Fucking.
I have friends
Oh.
everywhere.
I have friends.
I have
everywhere.
friends everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, she's so shocked by it because she's like, I mean, she had the betrayal of her assistant in a way because he's been working for Luthen for 2 years since the wedding kind of thing. So she's felt that betrayal. So now it's
And then
it's
the
a giant
driver as
panic.
well. But the fact, I loved her reaction. This is how she was so good. Like when he shot that
Loris,
Imperial mole, when he shot the Imperial chick, and it was like,
driver. Oh yeah, it's a
and then the driver later when she shot, because he shoots
Yeah.
the Imperial spy first.
Yeah.
And she's just like, what's going on? And then just that thing when he's like, that's my driver. And he's like, what's his name? And she's like, oh, don't worry. It's just
What's his
ISB
name?
spy. It's an ISB spy. And then he goes like, and he just says his name and then just goes bang and just shoots him.
He's like,
And
we
the
found
reaction,
her. We found her.
This is real now. This is. And that we've said this all along on our pods of like that line. He says like, we've all done terrible things in the name of the rebellion.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, this is we're getting to see now what they do, and it's
Well, I mean, one terrible thing, the very first episode when they're holed up. No, second arc, episode 1 of the second arc, I think, when Bix has that traumatic experience that Andor or Cassian had to kill that Imperial army trooper because he saw her face.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, done some pretty awful shit, and that's probably under his category of some pretty awful shit. But I laughed out loud because Cloris is such a dumbass. He's just sitting in the car being like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to call it. Don't call it until you hear anything. Okay. I suppose I'll go walk up the steps and see if she's there.
You know, when he goes running up those steps, I'm here. I'm here.
And he's
I
like,
love that.
who are you?
That's I can just imagine. So Jimmy, that is. I can just imagine as well. It's like we just see a guy get shot, and Jimmy's like, "Ha, fucking cocksucker."
I was like, this motherfucker had it coming. I even threw that. I threw that in the Discord spoiler chat too. And it was like Cloris. I wrote it as Clovis at first because like, oh no, it's Cloris. He got the axe. Oh, it was so good. And you know, I mean, again, Cassian's now experience with being a logistics man, seeing that and just being like, oh, let me distract him and close the distance to him so that I can shoot him more easily. Get him confused and think I'm on his side, kind of thing. Because it was that, and he was quick on the draw when her assistant, I forgot, Ezen or Bevan or whatever his name is, saved Mon Mothma, was like calling out the ISB agent. She's a rebel spy, and she like turns to him, and then Cassian, not missing a beat, just like boom, drops him.
Fucking bang.
Yeah,
No,
loved that. Oh, and as I mentioned pre-show before we started recording, I am really, really pleased to see those beautiful blue uniforms on the Senate security officers, right? Imperial Senate Security. I don't even know what the technical name is.
Glorious blue.
It's got to be something like that. Like the little black hats and the blue uniforms. It's like, just beautiful.
That's the equivalent, dude, of the red uniforms in Star Trek, mate.
I mean, it ain't no Monster Maroon, but she's pretty close. We're working on it. We're working on it really well.
Get in there, dude.
Oh, we are doing so well at that. And I love it. More cosplays, please. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of people in the 501st and at the wherever next convention that will be in LA. It's going to see some blue Imperial uniforms there. I'll be taking a close up picture of those. It's just good color.
But it was, and I love that music as well because they played that past present music. They from season 1, that past present, which is one of my favorite pieces of music Star Wars has done. They've used that again in that to like emphasize this is where Cassian's going, and it was a brilliant use of music. And
when they were running down the steps as the camera panned out, you actually said that when we were watching it,
because I've listened to those soundtracks fucking loads of times, and that piece of music that Nicholas Brittle does is quite phenomenal. I know he's not done a lot in season 2 because it's the other dude's doing it. Brandon something, is it, or whatever his name is? Brandon Roberts, I think it's Brandon Roberts. But to use that music there was fucking perfect. Kind of like how they use Duel of the Fates, if you know what I mean. Like, bringing.
It's the music as he's driving away with her, right? Dun, 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 dun,
no, it's the slower one. It's the slower. It's called Past Present, and it's amazing.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
heard.
And it was like to use that again at that point was like shit up, a proper fucking shit up.
Yeah.
So but it's
what a show, mate! Fucking brilliant.
And then that final scene.
Where do we go from here, mate? Where do we go?
I don't know, but I want to see more shots of Cassian being Mon Mothma's driver. She's like holding on to the old shit bar for dear life. You know what I mean? In that back seat. as he's like whipping out of Imperial Senate, you know?
Well, we've got to have a Cassian K2 mission
Yeah.
in this last stop. So what do you think that
Definitely.
will be? Because that's obviously going to be... I know Gilroy pitched that show as that originally, didn't he? It was going to be like a Cassian K2 adventure show. But like, they're going to do something in this last arc. So is it going to be like go after Dedra or something, or
I mean, I don't know.
My thought on it is that they're gonna like, it feels like Cassian's come around, Bix is gone, and now with like the Mothma stuff, like leading into the speeches, and now it's like the final arc is like the unification of the rebellion.
Yeah.
AKA Saw's group not getting in line and shit going south from there. Like, I feel like it's gonna go to like the Ring of Kafrene, and like Saw's group and the rebellion are gonna get cross paths, and things are gonna get messed up and lead right into that Rogue One stuff. That's where the Roman stuff's gonna come back. The ketamine driven Saw Gerrera is gonna be yeehaw or doing something in there. That's kind of
Yeah. Like we know where Saw Gerrera is. We just need to not get shot at the front door. So clearly something went down that they did not like, which I'm sure will be explained in this third arc. I want to see, as the formalization of all of this is going, I want to see a scene with Mon Mothma and Andor together and see how like their relationship currently is before the events of Rogue One. I just want one scene with that scene.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Do you think the Empire are going to go after her family?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about that. Perrin and then the daughter.
Because, the husband, or do you think they'll denounce and go?
I mean, if they're smart, they'll probably denounce and just
you think after that speech, Palpatine's going to respond?
I mean, probably, but I mean, the daughter hates her anyway, so it doesn't matter. And Perrin will be like, "I got to save myself," so he'll just do
that's what I mean.
He's necessary.
I wonder if we'll see anything on that. Yeah,
I think it'll be. They'll probably get some heat, but I doubt they'll be. I mean, maybe we'll see. We'll see if they're made like public examples. We certainly don't see or hear of any of that in the post Empire era, New Republic era, in books or anywhere else.
Rebels or nothing in Rebels or anything.
No, not that I know of.
I'm about to say, even after Alderaan gets blown up, people are still skeptical that like the Emperor and stuff are bad. They don't believe it. So I feel like making an example of her family is like an explicit, outright evil that like they're too public. I feel like they're just gonna spy on him, and then. But I don't think we'll see any of it. I think it's. I'll be surprised if we see any of them.
Yeah.
Hard to say. I can see it as like a runner and like a news feed is like Mothma's family being questioned, and like that's it. That's all we hear is like a scan through the room or something like that. But hey, parlay right into episode 18 of Rebel Season 3 Secret Cargo. I don't know if you guys still haven't had a chance to rewatch that episode, but give it a look. This is Gold Squadron intercepting Mon Mothma and picking her up so that she can do her big Yavin interest. They want to rewrite the story, as Clea eloquently put it. So that was cool. Damn, it would be. See, in that point when Mothma made her speech, we know that there are TIE defenders in the universe. We know that Ezra is there.
Here we go, mate. Here we go.
Kanan is blind. All right, Kanan's blind at this point. We've had the Malachor or whatever. We thought Ahsoka had died, but she entered the world between worlds too. That already happened at that point. Grand Admiral Thrawn is there, right? Same universe. Grand Admiral Thrawn is there and almost captures Mon Mothma, like before they make their escape to all their homies. Damn it! Give me that blue boy. Come on.
And I'd love to be like Jimmy should have some sort of script involvement in all of Star Wars, and I'd love to go in that script meeting with Jimmy. There'd be all these fucking writers, and Gilroy's like sitting there. It's like, what you got, Jimmy? It's like, listen up, Gilroy.
What you got for me today, Jimmy? He was like, sit down, get a cigarette out. It's going to be a while.
You get that about my blue boy.
You get Grand Admiral Thrawn in there, that TIE defenders. You got damn right.
Yeah, here's a pack of Winston 100s. Go to town while I explain my genius to you.
And then when I'm watching it with Michelle, I'll be like, see, I told you all about this when we were drunk in
It's all come to fruition.
Full circle. It's like poetry.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Great poetry. All right.
Sweet.
Any
Do you want to
final
land
thoughts?
the ship, Jimmy?
Land it, Jimmy.
All right, cool. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on episode 270 of the Scruffy Lookin Podcasters. Shawn, thanks for joining in for us, being a great ad.
Cheers, Shawn.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers, mate.
See you in a couple weeks.
Indeed.
See you in a
y'all in
couple
a
of
couple
weeks.
weeks. In the great city of Maine.
Sweet.
This party's over.